Here we go. Here we go, eh? We are on. Hey guys, how you going today on BKR Sport? We are live as Australia are going to be taking on England in the second game of the Ashes series, which, look, it's going to be interesting on the basis that there is a different referee here today, which is an Australian referee, comparatively to the English referee last week. And we did have some pretty serious concerns and pretty serious questions about how the game was being officiated by, I think it was Liam Moore at the time in regards to the ruck speed. And the ruck speed for Australia was at 4.2 seconds, which is extremely, extremely slow for an Australian standards. Whilst for England, they were at 3.5 seconds ruck speed, which is at a very normalised speed in Australia. So, 3.4 to 3.59 seconds is an average ruck speed in the NRL in Australia, and 3.8 seconds is usually extremely slow. Well, Australia were at 4.20, which is an extra 0.40 seconds behind that, which tells you a lot about how that game was run. And that's what's going to be interesting about this game here tonight, because it is Grant Atkins who is the referee, who is an NRL official, and the game just won't be played at the same style as it was last week. And we did clearly see that last week Australia were able to get a pretty dominant victory, regardless of how they weren't able to perform at their exceptional standards. They won the game 26-6 last week with Reece Walsh, Angus Crichton both scoring. It was actually Crichton double and a Reece Walsh double. We did see Darryl Clark score very late for England, but it was 26-0 at one point, and obviously finished up 26-6. And the worry for England there is that Australia didn't look great. There was a lot of errors from Australia. They weren't able to play their fast, creative, energetic footy that we would have expected from them, and yet they still won by 20 points. So that's why it is a very serious worry for England today to be able to get a win. And I'm actually surprised that they're as close as they are at $2.40 on the betting odds and whatnot, and Australia are $1.40. I actually think that it should be a pretty resounding win here for the Kangaroos today. But we'll see. Hopefully England can turn up here at home in Liverpool at the new Everton Stadium, at Hill Dickinson Stadium. Hopefully, hopefully they're able to turn up and give this a crack, because it is 2 a.m. for me here in Fiji. I know for you guys in Australia, it would be 1 a.m. in Muppetville, New South Wales. It will be 12 a.m. in Queensland and also Papua New Guinea and whatnot. And the game starts in about half an hour's time. So it is a brutal early morning here for us to watch this game. But if you love rugby league, you are here and you are ready to rock and roll. But guys, obviously hit that like button, subscribe if you are new around here. Yes, I probably look absolutely exhausted right now. We did do the Papua New Guinea versus Fiji game. Had a little bit of a kip, had a little bit of a nap in between. Because otherwise I just would have died. I would have died halfway through the stream if I didn't get a bit of a sleep in. So I had a couple of hours and now I'm awake, but I am definitely pretty tired. But like I said, thumbs up, subscribe. Let's get into these two team lineups. So the England team, they play host to Australia at Hill Dickinson Stadium in Liverpool. Now their ins: Harry Smith, Callum Watkins, Mikolai Olejski, and Morgan Smithies, with the outs being Darryl Clark, Ethan Havard, Jack Wellesby, and John Bateman. So Jack Wellesby not in the team after yet last week's performance. Very, very interesting there. John Bateman, not a surprise. But I am, look, as I said to you guys last week, next year in 2026, I'm going to be covering the Super League, which will be the first time on this channel. I'll be in a much more friendly time zone. I will not be continuously like this. I'll be in a much more friendly time zone back in Asia or something like that. But I'm looking forward to it. But it is very interesting, as someone who doesn't watch the Super League, to see Callum Watkins. I'm a Gold Coast Titans fan. Now, Callum Watkins was signed to us, like 8 years ago now? How old is he now? Callum Watkins. He's now 34 years old. Yeah, 34 years old. When did he sign for the Titans? It would have had to have been a good, 8 years ago. Callum Watkins, Titans. When was this? Yeah, when was this? Oh, it doesn't show it. Oh, 2000 Grand Immediate release. Oh, so it might have only been about 5, 6 years ago, actually. Damn. Okay. Might have only been about 5, 6. Anyway, it's surprising. Yeah, it is 2019. Yeah, it's 6 years ago. So what? He would have been 28. That's actually a surprise. I thought he was much younger. Overall, I'm surprised to see his name there, but I'm sure that he does do well over there in the Super League in comparison to his stint when he was at the Gold Coast Titans. And fullback, AJ Brimdog, millionaire AJ Brimson, with wingers being Dominic Young and Tom Johnstone, who had a great week last week. Tom Johnstone was fantastic. The centres of Herbie Farnworth and Jake Wardle. You go to the 5'8", George Williams, who is the captain. And then Harry Smith is the halfbacks. They've dropped Mikey Lewis here. Mikey Lewis was the halfback last week and was originally going to be the halfback, and now he is the 14. You go to the front row forwards of Mike McMeekin and Matty Lees, with the number 9 being Jez Litton. The back row is Kai Pearce Paul and Callum Watkins. Callum Watkins the back row now too. He was a centre for us. Okay, fair enough. Callum Watkins and Kai Pearce Paul, and then Morgan Knowles is the 13. Go to the interchange, Mikey Lewis, Alex Walmsley, Morgan Smithies, and Nikolai Oleshki, with the 18th man replacement being Owen Trout, and the coach is Sean Wayne, who I have a lot of criticism for. Not as much as English fans do, but I do criticise his team selections, and I'm still surprised that there is a couple of players that are still lacking from this team lineup. But it is what it is. The biggest question mark and the biggest conversational point is obviously going to be around their decision to play Jack Wellsby in the fullback last week and not include AJ Brimson, who is an ex-Origin player for Queensland, was close to making it this year with injuries and non-selections in the Origin team this year. And I don't think that he was ever going to be up there for the Australian spot realistically. But overall, AJ Brimson is a quality fullback. Does that change last week's result if AJ Brimson plays and he is the fullback? No, it doesn't. England still lose that game quite well. But it would have given them a little bit more oomph. There would have been a bit more something behind them, because with Jack Wellsby there, it just wasn't, nothing was happening. And as a Titans fan, I watch this guy every week. I know AJ, he's a great little player that can adjust a game when it's going against you. So it's a huge inclusion here for Brimo to be there in the fullback position. It was hilarious for them not to select him last week. Dom Young, look, I wasn't impressed. I haven't been impressed with him since probably his first night stint, his Roosters stint, early night stint, and then last week's England game. Wasn't too impressed by him. But look, Herbie Farnworth is one of the best centres in the game, and that is regardless of what country you are from. Herbie Farnworth is one of the very few English backs that have worked out in the NRL, and he has been incredible. But apparently, I do believe that he has come up through the Australian ranks. With that being said, it's just that he is eligible here for England. But if he was eligible for Australia, I guarantee you Australia would select Herbie Farnworth every single damn well, Saturday, Sunday, and every day in between. Herbie Farnworth is an incredible player. So that is someone that England have to really heavily rely upon to get them going overall. The halves here is a big question mark. Harry Smith and George Williams have mixed it up from what they had last week. George Williams didn't do anything last week for mine. I need to see him stand up a lot more. I don't know a great deal about Harry Smith, but there is an English player, and again, I don't watch the English Super League. I will be from next year. But there is an English player that the English have been complaining about who actually won. I think it was the Man of Steel, who didn't get selected. Who won England Man of Steel? Man of Steel 2025. Jake Connor of the Leeds Rhinos, awarded for the 30-year-old halfback up the Rhinos, secure their first top 4 finish since 2017. So a lot of people I've seen online complaining about Jake Connor, the Man of Steel, who is a halfback for Leeds Rhinos. He hasn't been selected here, but they have got Harry Smith. So we'll see how that does pan out. Anything surely is better than what we saw last week out of Mikey Lewis and Georgie Williams, but George Williams needs to stand up more. He didn't look anything like the player that we know him from the Canberra Raiders back in 2019 when they were in the grand final, and he was a great player. It was a really good player to watch, Georgie Williams. So, look, they've made a couple of changes there in key positions of that 1 through 7, and then when it comes to the forwards, it's just so difficult to see these forwards come up against this Australian pack, because this Australian pack is mental, dude. This Australian pack is absolutely mental, and I don't know who's going to overtake them. I really, even the likes of the Kiwis and even the likes of Tonga and Samoa and whatnot, I just still don't think they beat out this pack. It's so good. So let's move into this Australian team lineup. The fullback, so the ins and outs. Lindsay Smith comes in with Zaya Yo unfortunately going out. The fullback is Reese Peasy, Reese Walsh, with the wingers being Mark Nwangane Tawase and Josh Adokar. Centres of Katoni Staggs and Gehamashi Basaki. The 5'8" is Cameron Munster, with the halfback being Nathan Cleary. Then you've got the front row forwards of Lindsay Collins and Tino for Asul Malawi. And the number 9 is Harry Grant, who is the captain. You've got the back row, Angus Crichton and Hudson Young, with the 13 being Patrick Carrigan. The interchange is Tommy Dearden, Lindsay Smith, Ruben Cotter, and Keon Kalamatangi. The 18th man replacement is Brabham Best, and the coach is Kevin Walters. I guess the only relative criticism that people may have is the amount of Broncos in it, but with that being said, the Broncos did win the premiership for a reason. I think that if Cameron Murray is fit and healthy, that Kevin Walters is always going to select Paddy Carrigan. Not that I think Paddy Carrigan's had the greatest year in his career, to be fair, but Cameron Murray would have been a shout. Isaiah Yo obviously would have been in that 13. Yeah, it would have been interesting if we had seen a fully fit Cameron Murray throughout the year, who is incredible at Australian level, but does usually get that back row spot. He probably would have been Angus Crichton and Cameron Murray as the two back rowers, which would have been incredible because I still haven't seen Hudson Young step up to representative level. When it comes to New South Wales, whether it comes to Australia, I would implore somebody to please prove me wrong and tell me why Hudson Young has deserved his continuous spot here now when it comes to representative, either at state or international level. I need to see Hudson Young show his Raiders form because it's getting quite pathetic to see him constantly just looking for the rile up. He's like trying to become the entertainer, and it's like he wants to be the main part of the show in the international game. And it's like, bro, there are so many players here on this Australian team that are going to be the X factor. They're going to be the main part of the show. I know that you are the show at the Camp Raiders, and he's absolutely incredible. But you've got to stop trying to get into fights. You've got to stop laugh. It's really weird what I see from Hudson Young, where he just doesn't have the form to encourage him to be able to show off. And unfortunately, that's what I do see a lot from Hudson Young. So whilst I really appreciate him as a player for the Canberra Raiders, when it comes to representative level, it's getting to a point now where the jokes are really running thin, and we need to see you actually perform as a back rower on a representative level in a representative jersey. We go to the back line. Reece Walsh was incredible last week. Started off quite poor, but really ran that game home strong and was clearly the best player in that game. And with a faster referee today, Grant Atkins, he's going to be zippy, dude. He's going to be absolutely zippy. So I definitely think the English need to watch out for a massive performance again from Reece Walsh. Mark Nwanga Tawase, Fiji would have been spewing they didn't have him. But he should be again a cheat code today. But Tom Johnstone did well against him last week. Adokar didn't really kind of get shining too much, but the centres of Tony Staggs and Geffen Misaki, it is actually a good battle between Herbie Farnworth and Jake Wardle in a way. Herbie Farnworth can match it with those two, absolutely. Jake Wardle, maybe not so much, but wasn't awful last week. It's not like he deserved to get dropped necessarily. If they had kept Jack Wellsby in the fullback, then you probably would have been putting AJ Brimson into the centre department. But look, overall, Jake Wardle held his own for the most part. And a couple of those guys there, and Tom Johnstone did really, really well. So the back line wasn't able to get as going as you would expect. But again, they were being held down for so long. 4.2 seconds is a ridiculous long time. And that is unfortunately how the English game is officiated. So we need to see a bit of a difference today, and that's what we'll get out of Grant Atkins. Cameron Munster hasn't really had the greatest form of late, realistically. But Nathan Cleary, I didn't think he was as bad as other people suggested. Everyone loves to shit on Nathan Cleary. It is like a horn dog material. It's like their favourite pastime to shit on Nathan Cleary. If he doesn't have 17 tries, he's 14 tries, and every single conversion made. A line breaks 100. Like, I don't understand what people realistically want there, especially in a game like this where it's Australia. You've got the best players in the world playing. Australia vs England, you've got the best players in the world playing. You've got Harry Grant who can create that X factor. You've got Munster who can do it. You've got Reece Walsh who can do it. You've got a whole backline that can do it. Nathan Cleary last week defensively was very, very solid and made some real big effort plays, especially in the first half when the game was much closer than the second half. And whilst he didn't have the most electric of attacking games, he didn't really need to because Reece Walsh was able to take over in that department. Now, who's to say that Reece Walsh doesn't have a bad game this week and we need to see Nathan Cleary step up? My biggest concern with Nathan Cleary is if somebody doesn't step up and he is a part of the team. Because if Reece Walsh steps up, he doesn't need to step up. If Cameron Munster is that guy, then he doesn't need to step up. If Harry Grant is that guy, then he doesn't need to step up to that level. You don't need to have too many cooks in the kitchen. You don't need to really force yourself into the game if the game is already going your direction and somebody else is standing up in replacement. Sure, if you want to be that star player, to be the guy that everyone regards as the best player in the world, go for it. But I don't think that Nathan Cleary put too much of a foot wrong last week comparatively to what people think. And anyone who says that Nathan Cleary shouldn't be playing halfback doesn't know what they're talking about. If Australia's spine, nobody played well in it, then I would criticise it because you would need to see a player of his calibre, of his stature, stand up. And that would be a worry. But until that happens, I'm okay with the performance last week, especially with the fact that um, especially with the fact that Australia were able to get the W and Reece Walsh was able to dominate. Geez, because it's so early, my brain just went into absolute meltdown as I was trying to figure out what my point was there. Forwards wise, Angus Crichton, Hudson Young, need to see Hudson Young, stop being this joker on the field because he is a joker on the field. He is, and he's a much better player than that, but he is a joker on the field. Angus Crichton had a great week last week, 2 tries. You've got to appreciate that. The front row forwards of Lindsay Collins and Tina Malawi. Tino, absolutely massive, but Lindsay Collins, he is a tough, hard runner of the ball. And him coming into this team is incredible because he's such an important part of what Queensland is and their mentality. And Lindsay Collins will come in and really create a boost here for this Australian team up the dead smack middle. So that's a huge forward pack there of the 2 front rowers. Harry Grant, we all know how incredible he is in the number 9. Paddy Carrigan, again, 13. I haven't been a massive fan of how he's performed this year overall. He has taken a bit of a step back whilst other players have gone forward. Obviously, Australia would normally have Payne Haas and Tino as their front row forwards, but Payne Haas has gone to Samoa, which has been huge as they got a massive win against Tonga last week. And Tonga do play later on today against New Zealand in a big game there to see who gets into the final and who goes down there into the promotion relegation game that we only found out about last night. So, look, overall, this Australian team should be winning this game. And realistically, they should actually be winning this game 13 plus like they did last week on the basis that last week was an English referee. The ruck speed was so slow. Australia weren't able to play the game style that we are so used to them playing. We weren't able to see them play that real quick, speedy game that Reece plays, that Nathan Cleary thrives under, that Harry Grant thrives under. So many players in this Australian team thrive under fast, quick play the ball speed. And last week it was impossible. So if Grant Atkins has got a set of balls on him today, he will ping England for nearly every single tackle. If it is similar to last week, he will ping England for nearly every single tackle, and you'll see Australia down in the attack of 10 every single time within the first 2 tackles. Because that is, unfortunately, what England did last week, which is a part of their game, but the game is refereed very, very differently there. Also, English Super League fans, I've got to be honest with you, if that is the ruck speed that we see every single week in the Super League, that is fucking diabolical. Like, that is actually ridiculous, and I don't know how you enjoy it. I do not know how you enjoy rugby league week to week basis if that is your ruck speed. 4.2 seconds, is that a normal ruck speed, or is that a fast ruck speed, or is that a slow ruck speed? Whatever I watched from England on Australia last week was diabolical. So if that is what I'm opening myself up to next year, I'm not really necessarily looking forward to that because that was a really poor game style that doesn't reflect the game on a positive note. And I can see why the NRL want to buy the English Super League to make it better because that product is not a feasible product. It is not a feasible product. Considering I'm one of very few, or there are very few people out there who genuinely just watch rugby league because they love it across all levels and they will watch it. Some people love rugby league and they can't watch every single game. We watch every single game here. If even myself, who watches every single NRL game, every single international game, we stream it here. If even I'm saying, well, shit, do I really want to watch the Super League if that is the ruck speed? If even I'm saying that, there's a problem because I absolutely adore rugby league. I am passionate and obsessed with rugby league, but if that is the ruck speed, I don't want anything a part of it. So I really hope that's not it, and I hope that there's a big difference between what I saw last week and what we'll see in the Super League. But overall, I'm tipping Australia 13 plus here. If England can lose by less than 12, or they can find a way to win, it'd be a miracle, in my opinion. I think it'd be an absolute miracle if they could win, but it would be just as much of a miracle to lose by 1 or 12 because that speed last week just wasn't close at all. But all right, guys, let's get to the chat. Let's see what you are saying. Obviously, hit that thumbs up button and subscribe. It is 2 a.m. 18 a.m. for me right now, so I can't be as loud as I would normally be. But we'll do our best. Let's move that bad boy across over here, and let's go to the chat. Cliffy Wooden says, let's go. Let's get around it. Sean James says, how's it going, mate? Early in the morning. Very early in the morning, man. Very early in the morning. But we're watching every single game. So we have to be up. And I was actually originally going to start up at 1:30, but I was like, that's a bit early. It's just a bit early to do a whole hour preview for this game when most people are probably going to be in bed as well, to be fair. Marcel Moose says, hello, everyone. I hope this game is entertaining or else I may fall asleep on the couch. High possibility, dude. High possibility. High possibility. Jay says 10 p.m. here. Yeah, that'd have been beautiful. Obviously, last week I was in Singapore. That was a nice time zone of 9 p.m. It would have been 10 p.m. this week. Really nice time zone there. Wouldn't have had to sleep. Could have just gone straight through and then bang, all done and dusted. But today, it is not a great time zone. Not a great time zone. Tyron says, hoping for a semi-competitive game. I think we all just want to see some form of anything, some form of literally anything from England, because we know what Australia can do. We know what Australia should do, but from England, we need them to turn up a little bit. And this is coming from Australia. So Hans says, can we get up the toffees? Not really, but I don't mind Everton. I don't mind Everton comparatively, even though City usually lose them at Goodison, but obviously we don't play at Goodison anymore. Mounty says all the Islanders will be supporting Oz for this one. Why? Why? Wouldn't you think that, I would assume, realistically speaking, as an Australian, that everyone who's not Australian would be supporting against Australia in pretty much every game they play on an international level, because if anyone was to beat them, it would show, except for New Zealand. New Zealand beating them wouldn't be a great deal of a surprise overall, even though it would still be a surprise, but not an amazing surprise. Wouldn't every single team, international team outside of Australians, be actively supporting against Australia because they want to see someone topple the monopoly that they have? That's what I would have thought anyway. And it says Hudson Young deserves his spot because he wants to punch on. That is like I know you said sarcasm there, but that is like true. It's not even sarcasm. Like it just isn't sarcasm. That is his game style. That is what he's best at, and he's not even great at fighting from what we've seen so far. So I just don't understand what the point of him is. Mali Maris is watching from Papua New Guinea. Welcome from Papua New Guinea. Good win for you guys against Fiji, and later on today, New Zealand versus Tonga, and you'll get to see who you get to play in the final next week for a promotion relegation game, which will be very interesting. Hans says Hudson Young deserves it for making Walsh cry. Let's be honest. In what world did Hudson Young make Walsh cry? The last I remember was Hudson Young getting, unfairly binned, but Hudson Young getting binned, Reece Walsh getting binned, Raiders being up by 16 and losing that game, and then ultimately getting knocked out in straight sets because of that game. In what world did Hudson Young make Reece Walsh cry, if that's the game you're referring to? The Raiders versus Broncos game? The Broncos won when Reece Walsh came back and led the Broncos to victory in that game, and then ultimately won the grand final. In what world did Hudson Young win that battle between the two and make Reece Walsh cry? In what world? What's your thoughts on PNG flogging Fiji? I was there. I streamed it live. And Saxon says I'm the most Englishman on earth, and I didn't even know this was happening. Well, this is game 2, bro. You're obviously not the most Englishman on earth. Yeah. This is game 2. We had a game last week where Australia won 26-6, and this is the second game of the series where it's at Hills Dickinson Stadium, the new Everton Stadium. Enda says, I hate the Cleary hate, and I know that Para fans love to do it, and I try and tell people to pull their heads in, but of course they don't care. Yeah, sure. Like, I can understand why... Wait, why were you looking at Titans here? Oh, AJ Brimson. Of course, yeah, they're showing us AJ Brimson highlights. I was like, why are we watching the Gold Coast Titans? But sure. Brenton says, if we don't score in the first 10 minutes, I'm going to bed. Dude, honestly... If we don't score in the first 10 minutes, I'm going to bed. If Australia don't score, man, last week it wasn't really a blowout until the second half. But Australia did absolutely slap it from there. I think if Australia, I'll be brutally honest here with you guys. If Australia are up 30-0 or by 30 points at halftime, I will probably turn the stream off at halftime. I probably will, Like, I'm not even joking. If they are up by 30 points, which surely not. Surely England can put up a better fight than that. But if Australia are up by 30 points at halftime, I'm turning the stream off. And I will 100% go to bed. I will 100%. I'm not watching the second half if that is the case. Hudson Young needs to step up. Yes, he does, absolutely. Sean says, when they are playing for your country, all the bullshit about teams goes out the window. Yes, but there is a factor that gets played there too. Yeah, but there is definitely a factor. Sorry, not sorry. Yeah, you're a big dog, mate. Yeah, it chases me either. Yeah. I just want something today because that Papua New Guinea versus Fiji game was diabolical, and New Zealand, the Samoa versus Tonga game was diabolical, and plus we had like a 3 hour delay or 4 hour delay or whatever it was. What other games were there? The New Zealand versus Tonga game, New Zealand versus Samoa game was at least relatively close. Who else was there? Cook Islands Papua New Guinea was awful quality, but at least it was close. I tell you guys, next week, New Zealand and Papua New Guinea, if that's the case, or Tonga and Papua New Guinea, Papua New Guinea might get slapped, dude. Like, Papua New Guinea might get crunched in that game, even if it's against Tonga. I do worry for that, and I really hope that isn't the case, but I could absolutely see, I could absolutely see a world where it does go very similar to how that promotion relegation game was last week. You look like you need a coffee or three. I bet the sniffy jar ain't there. Sniffy jar not here, and also in the house that I'm in, an alarm goes off at 11 a.m. to like 4 a.m. 11 p.m. to 4 a.m. out in the kitchen, so I can't even go make myself a coffee because the alarm will run out across the house, and it'll be absolutely brutal. It might be 3 a.m., so maybe at halftime I can go make myself a coffee. But for the time being, if I walk out there, the only thing I've got right now is a bottle of water. If I walk out there, there'll be just an alarm that will go off in the house. I should leave this unmuted, and I should just let you be able to hear it. But it's very frustrating because I do really want to go make myself a coffee, and I have myself my own Vietnamese coffee that I brought. Sport Reaction says this is going to be so much better to watch with the ruck speed being quicker. Absolutely, it should be, but also that could lead to a bigger Australian result. No coffee after 11 p.m. sounds like a prison. Why? There's no way. If I was going to sleep, I would never drink coffee after 11 p.m. But you sound like my Italian friend. My Italian friend, he gets offended if when I talk about like Australian time zone and how Australians live, where like pretty much everything closes at 9 or 10 p.m. at night, and he's like, "Oh, this is a bullshit. What if I want to go to get a coffee at late at night at like a midnight?" And I said, "Well, everyone's in bed by midnight. Everyone go to bed. Like we're asleep." He's like, "Oh, no, this is a bullshit. I like a coffee. I like to go to get a food at like 1 a.m." And I just like, well, everyone's asleep because they're waking up at 6 a.m. People overseas don't realize that Australia has a strict time zone where everyone pretty much goes to bed at like 10, 11 p.m. At a max for the most part, whilst the rest of the world, Asia, Europe, and all that, they don't go to bed until like 4 in the morning. Truly. Brenton says, "Look how grey the weather is over there." That's England for you, champion. That is England. Yes, that was the same Italian friend who had the Bloody Mary in India. That is the same Italian friend, Jay. Yeah, that is the same one. That is the same one. But no, Brenton, are you surprised, mate? You're surprised with the weather that you can see here? Are you surprised with the weather that you can see here, Mr. Reslick? This is what we know. And that's why when we get the English lads here, whether it be damn well, I can't even think their names right now because my brain is so tired. Seb Watson or all these other guys. I tell you what, they tried to tell us that it's sun, and he just like, or Gary. Gary always comes in telling us it's sunny. I would love Gary to come in and tell us it's sunny today because this is the problem. It's never sunny in England. And if it is, it's AI. If it's sunny, it is AI. All right, so both the teams are out in the field here. Yeah, guys. All right, so they've got both. They're clapping right now. I'm not too sure what both teams are clapping for, but we'll have the international anthems of Australia and England right on up. I think the way this game will, the first 5 minutes of this game will tell me everything I need to know. If England have been penalised twice in the first 5 minutes, it's going to be an absolute slap up. If England can compete for the first 5 or 10 minutes, then it'll be a similar game to last week. But I could easily see Australia just running away with this in the first 5-10. Art of Limbs says, "I better not be awake at 3:30 a.m. to watch a thrashing. Go on, England." Art of Limbs, you're probably going to be awake at 3:30 a.m. to watch a thrashing. Also, 3:30 a.m., where are you? Is New Zealand 3:30 a.m.? Are you an hour in front of Fiji? Hold on. Time in Fiji. Time in New Zealand, sorry. Jeez. I'm in Fiji. I know the time. Time in New Zealand is 3:30 a.m. That is strange that you guys are ahead of us, but everything's strange this time of the year. 3:30 a.m. wake up call is brutal for a game of this standard, but no, I do feel like Australia should win this game by a very convincing margin. Very convincing margin. And Advanced Australia Fair has been sung, and now we listen to God Save the King, and then we'll be underway. Oh, damn, I need a coffee. Oh, here we go, Gary. Here we go. They tell me it's sunny. Yeah? Yeah, there you go. G'day, everyone from sunny London. How sunny is it right now? Look at the screen. I want you to look at the weather and try and lie to us. I want you to try to sell us a dream about the sunny old England, because all I can see is cloud and despair right now. Cloud and despair in England. Gee whiz. Hey, Rose, how you doing? Very tired. It's 2:30 in the morning. 2:30 in the morning, but we've also actually, what time is that New Zealand Tonga game tomorrow? New Zealand Tonga is at 5 o'clock. Okay, so I've got plenty of time to chill out. Plenty of time to chill out between now and that New Zealand versus Tonga game. Can't see anything but an Aussie win again. Yeah, no, I think it'll be even worse than last week on the ruck speed department. The ruck speed should be played at a very quick rate. Grant Atkins is the referee from Australia. It should be very different. Gaze to sunny London. No, it's not. No, it is not. Right now, I look at the screen. I can see just cloud. I can see just cloud, and then we just assume that is the case everywhere in England, because it is. And if you think it's sunny, it's just AI. We've said this before, and we'll say it again. Okay, both anthems have been sung. Come on. It's so funny, though, that the international game is at such a harsh level where Australia is so good that you find Australians want to see the other team do better just so that it's competitive, because otherwise we will just see a blowout here. Okay, so that's Liverpool blows. No, it's England. No. No, it is England, champion. No, it is England. And you need to figure that out. All right, well, let's see if Australia can utilise the cheat code that is Nwanga into Wasay today. That'd be good. Apparently, Rabbitohs fans are starting to have a few problems with Koloamatangi and his contract. We're actually starting to see the age of fans really starting to get pissed off at contracts, because we're seeing it so much more now, and especially with Tino, especially now with Keon Koloamatangi, a lot of players, we're starting to see fans really dislike players based upon their contracts, which is not necessarily what we've seen in the past. Arya with the $8 donation, get around your Arya, says, "Hey BKR, I hope you have a." You are a disgrace, Arya. You are a disgrace. You are a disgrace. You are a disgrace. I'm not even going to read that part of the comment out, but I'm going to read you. I'm going to pretend that doesn't exist. I'm going to say, "Hey BKR, I hope you have a great time watching Australia dominate." Yeah, Jay's just removed a comment. He has. He's done it. He's done it. Look, it makes sense, Arya. Look, I appreciate you for your $8 donation, but that is a disgrace. We all know that anyone who calls it a Parma is a disgrace to Australia, because it is a Parme. Parmigiana. It's spelled Parme. Okay, it's not Parma. It's a Parmigiana. If anyone says Parmigiana, you're Muppet. Okay, Parme. And then secondly, you put an S at the end of Storm. There's only one S in Storm. You need to go, while you're in your timeout, appreciate you for your donation. While you're in your timeout, I want you to go to a mirror. I want you to look at yourself. I want you dead smack look at yourself in the mirror and just point at yourself and say, "You have a word to yourself," and then have a word. That's what you need to do. What a disgrace. Parma. A Parma. Dear me. All right, so England are going to kick this ball off here, guys. Hit that thumbs up button, subscribe. Cheat code, Grant Atkins. Jimmy James says 1:30 a.m. here in Sydney. I just got home, and I'm not sure if I'll be able to stay awake for this one. Well, it'll all depend on how good it is in the early doors for most people to stay up. Tina Fa'asul Malawi's going to bring this ball out here to the 10 on the first tackle. Okay, let me just refresh this score. So that it is live. And there we go. And it's a penalty to Australia early doors. Well, didn't we know this was coming? Well done, England. You are going to get penalised to absolute shit today. And we knew this was going to happen, because England, you are ridiculous when it comes to the ruck speed. You are going to be penalised every single damn well set if you keep playing like this. If they play the same styles they did last week, we're going to see them get penalised every single tackle. In the first 40 seconds here, I told you there'd be like 2 penalties in the first 5 minutes. I told you there would be. Look how long they hold down for. Look how long they hold down for. You're going to get pinged every single tackle today, England. Also, it's very difficult to see the lines on the field today. All right, second tackle here for Australia, and they're going to be at the 50. 1, 2, 3, 4. That was at least a quicker ruck speed. And now Australia is going to bring this ball to the 45. It's going to be so hard to see where they're on the field because the lines are so difficult to see. There is no 40-metre line I can see right now. Left-hand side, Angus Crichton. Angus Crichton's going to be 20 metres away from the line for tackle. This is very ominous for England, dude. Look how this is ominous, man. Munster steps around. He pushes off Herbie Farnworth, and then he's going to bring this ball to I think the 20. I think that's 20 metres out. Fit tackle, penalty. Oh, my God. Oh, it's a biffo. It's a biffo. Someone throw an uppercut. You sons of bitches. Slap. There's actually a biffo right now. There's actually a genuine biffo. There is actually a genuine biffo right now. Dom Young's there. And Dom Young, Hudson Young. For God's sake, please tell me Hudson isn't the one doing this. Quite literally everything we spoke about in the pre-game show has already started. Like literally everything. Hudson Young's in a fight because he wants to be the entertainer. England have given away multiple penalties. Australia are looking very ominous on the attack. The speed is killing England in the first minute 40. This is looking exactly how we spoke about early doors. I would love to see how this starts up, mind you. England fans are fired up right now, but I want to see how this starts up. So, so it's Harry Grant on the floor, and then Tino gets involved, and then all the English will come in there. Yeah, that was all over the shop. What time is it for you? It is currently 2:30 a.m. for me here in Fiji. Oh, so Litton goes in at Harry Grant. Bro, you're not going to get under Harry Grant's skin, dude. Like, just... This is cute how the English think that this is going to get under the Australian skin. Look at how nonchalant Harry Grant is. You can see in his face he didn't give a shit. You could see how much Harry Grant didn't give a shit. He was holding on to him, but you could look. That was so funny. Litton was like so focused in on him, and Harry Grant is just like. And it's a penalty Australia, mind you. My God, England. I was right. 2 penalties in the first 5 minutes. That is hilarious. Bin the whole English team, Bretton says. Saxon says England hates Aussie bogans. Yeah, we don't give a shit because we beat you in pretty much every single sport. Saxon says nobody can beat England without cheating. Oh, well, we beat you in pretty much every sport, mate. So Grant Atkins is going to bin Tino. Grant Atkins is going to bin Tino, and then he's going to bin Dom Young. Yep. So Dom Young goes to the bin, and Tino will go to the bin for 10 minutes. Saxon, you won't be able to win in the banter department, bro. The only sport that you guys are better at is football, and even we, in a sport that we don't care about, still got to the round of 16 in a sport that Australians don't really care about. Outside of that, we beat you in Rugby Union the last time we played you. Actually, we play you tonight, actually, in Rugby Union. We beat you in Rugby League and every single time we play you, and we haven't lost you in the cricket for like 14 years. So please get back into your hole before you try to get into the banter with Australians in sport and trying to say about cheating, because you won't win that battle, bro. So both teams are going to have a man to be in Tino and Dom Young, and there's a minute 54 into the first half here. Yellow card is new. It's an English part of the game, Marcel. Elijah says, fair play getting up at 2:30 for a stream. Yeah, look, we watch every game, bro. So Australia going to take the 2 here to make it a 2-0 ball game early doors. They're right in front. Nathan Cleary will go to this 2 minutes in. Aditya says, are you Aussie? Yes. Nate says, g'day Blaze, I know you do this game, mate. Cheering. We're alive for every game, man. We are alive for every game, regardless. Even though I'm in Fiji now, it's 2:30 in the morning. We're here. Saxon says, somebody cares about legal cricket, you bogan. But yet you are here. So the unfortunate thing for you is that you're talking about a game and saying no one cares about when you are currently watching it. So unfortunately, the hypocriticalness from yourself is probably not the greatest. Hypocrisy. It's so early in the morning, I can't even get my words out correctly. But I can tell you, I can clearly tell you're a dick. That one is pretty much straightforward. So 2-0 Australia here, 3 minutes into the game. I am here. Yes, so obviously you are a clown because you are insulting a game that you are watching. So you are an idiot, unfortunately. And also, mind you, in the sport that you do love, you guys don't actually win. They don't win ever. So Australia now, they're going to get this ball to the 10 through Lindsay Collins, going to be first tackle. Yeah, we don't even need to bother with you, Saxon. Like, if you're going to watch the game and enjoy rugby league, then enjoy rugby league. But if you're just here to insult rugby league, then you can fuck off somewhere else. I don't care. So it's going to be second tackle now for Angus Crichton. But please do enjoy, watch on as Australia slap your team to oblivion. So it's going to be Reece Walsh and out to 15 on second tackle. Remember 2022 World Cup, Aussies, oh my days, you got to stream the 2026 World Cup. Yeah, no, I'll be there, bro. I'll be there for sure. Absolutely. I'll be streaming that. But I will be streaming the Super League next year because I want to have a better understanding about the English game. I want to have a much better understanding about Super League and all that. So fourth tackle now for Australia, and they're going to get this ball here to the 35, fourth tackle. I will be streaming the Super League. But of course, we'll be there for the World Cup, bro. Don't worry. He must have stole his mum's phone, little bozo. Like, what's the point of coming to a stream to insult the sport that you're watching? It just makes you look like an idiot. So Australia will kick this ball down to the 15, and AJ Brimson's going to pick that ball up, and good run to the 25 first tackle. Gary, so I think us English need to understand that Super League is far below the NRL. The series will be 0-3, and anyone who thinks otherwise is a little deluded. It is. And there's going to be a penalty here too. England, another biffo. Jeez, England are really upset here. Like, England are really upset here. I don't know what's happened here with Australia's clearly done something. Harry Grant's done what he usually does. Harry Grant has done probably what he's usually done. He's just probably getting into him here. So Grant's going to put him onto the ground there. What's the penalty there? Like, I love how fiery this is, Nath, yeah, but what's the penalty there? What did Harry Grant get penalised for just now? At least we're seeing a bit of biffo. I'm loving this. I'm loving this little biffo that we're getting. All right, so England will be at the 30. England will be at the 30. Let's see. Come on. I want some good attack here, England. I want to see some good attack. Did you ever want to become a commentator? I reckon you could commentate basically anything like for a job. Appreciate you, man. No, we enjoy what we're doing here, and we're going to continue to grow on here. Plus, we've got BKRtravel that we're going to be doing stuff on. So, we do what we can, and we're already commentating for you guys on BKR Sport. Second tackle here for England. They're going to be 22 metres out here from the line. I'd nearly want England to score here because it would show to me that England are up for a game. And now it's going to be Callum Watkins, who's going to be 10 metres out from the line. Third tackle for the English. 6 minutes in, they go to the right. And off to Knowles. And Knowles is going to be 10 metres away from the line. Fourth tackle. Fourth tackle, 10 metres out. They go out the back now. Oh, good play. He's got on the sideline. No, Australia picked the ball up. No one to Tuase. Oh. It's going to be English ball here. They still might score. It's going to be 0 tackle for England at the 20. This is actually a red hot game right now. No one to us. They got the intercept, tried to flick the ball back, and then threw it forward. And now England have the ball again. First tackle, 10 metres out. Come on, England. I want to see a try here. I really want to see an English try here. They come out to the left-hand side. They give it off to AJ Brimson. AJ Brimson's going to be 9 metres away from the line. Second tackle. Really enjoyable start here. Couple of biffos, couple of bins. England with an attacking opportunity. Penalty to England here. They may take the 2 here, but you need to score. England, you have to score tries to win this game. You can't go toe-to-toe with them in regards to penalties. Hudson Young gives away a penalty, not surprised. England, don't do the stupid thing and take the 2. Don't play into Australia's game. Go for the try. No. Wrong decision, England. Wrong decision, bro. Wrong decision, England. Taking the 2 here is so stupid. You go for the try here. It's still only 7 minutes into the game. You are going to need to score tries to beat Australia. You're not going to win a grind like this because Australia is going to score at some point. You have got such heavy momentum. You are in the attacking 10. Back yourselves in. Back your attack. This is really weak stuff. This is weak mentality, and Australia will pick this apart. You are not going to be down in Australia's 10 every single set. You're not going to be down here a lot. So you need to capitalize on that and score tries based off of that. And with the momentum that you had just then, you should have backed in your attack. What this tells Australia that you're going for the 2 here is that you don't believe you're going to be able to score against them. Australia kicking the 2 there, they are going to be able to score in this game. England, we don't know how much they're going to score in this game. So it's like, whilst I don't necessarily agree Australia should have done it, it's like, whatever, because I know they're going to score. England taking the 2 here, it is such a poor mentality. Such a poor mentality. Gary, there's no passing in the tackle. England need to keep the ball moving. Dude, they 100% need to go for the try there. 100% need to go for the try. And this is vital score 102. I think it'll tell us a lot the next time Australia... Oh, he was actually out there. On that sideline, it probably should... I don't know. No one into Wasa, he would have gone over the sideline, so it was probably fine that he attempted something. A lot more intense than last game, which is good. Yeah, no, enjoyable so far, for sure. Enjoyable so far. I just really hate that you can't really see the lines of the field. All right, so Australia are going to kick this ball down into the corner. Yeah, last few penalties have been a bit strange. Yeah, Tilchunga, so I don't agree with the Harry Grant one. That didn't really make a great deal of sense. So England are going to be at the 10. I need to see them make some meters here because going for that 2 is so perplexing. England now, second tackle, they're going to be 13 metres away from their own line. And Herbie Farnworth, he'll bring it out to the, I think, about 20, if I can see that line properly. Geez, that in-goal is shorter than my kitchen table. I think last week's Wembley one was even shorter. 4 tackle at the 30 for England. Now they'll go to the right. And AJ Brimson will bring it out to about, I think, the 40 on fifth tackle. No, it's a 73 watching. That's awesome for us viewers. No, that's relatively low. Not many Australians are really out watching this because they expect us to win, to be fair. But, you know, I appreciate everyone for watching on. But, yeah, most Australians, if it was a World Cup game, Australians would, you know, get up and watch. But for a game like this, this has been a fun game to watch so far in the first 10 minutes, though. For a game like this, you're not finding too many Australians would have stayed up for it or woken up for it. So, second tackle for Australia, and they're going to be at the 30. It's actually going to be third tackle. 10 minutes into the first half here, guys. Hit that thumbs up button. Subscribe if you're new around here. Harry Grant to Munster. Munster's going to run this ball into the line, and they're going to be at the 30 on fourth tackle. Now they'll go out to the left. They might have numbers here. They are going to have numbers here. They are going to have numbers here. They're away. They're away. Shibasaki. And he... No, it's going to be cast as a forward pass, I reckon. I think they've called this as a forward pass. Any games tomorrow? Yes. Tonga versus New Zealand. Yeah, that's probably forward, yeah. They didn't call that last week. They did not call... That sideline footage looked like it was probably flat, but the early one looked forward. Aditya says Australia women lost in the cricket to India in the World Cup. That's great, Aditya. It's funny that you bring up the women's game, which I'm sure you probably don't care about. You forgot to mention that Australia have been whooping India and all the other cricket formats in the men's. So it's going to be first tackle here for England at the 40. Sport Reaction says Tonga need to win big to make the final. They need to win by 18 to make the final, yeah. And then whoever loses, or if Tonga doesn't win by 18, we'll play Papua New Guinea in the promotion relegation next week. So England now, they're going to be third tackle, probably about, 15 metres away from the Australian line. Now go out to the left-hand side. Okay, we want to see you score here, England. Taking the 2 would not be the option. Herbie Farnworth, he'll break it out to the right. And then he'll be taken down about 12 metres away from the line for tackle. 15 metres away for tackle. Oh, get up, Herbie Farnworth. You know he's not being, you're not being held in the tackle. So go to the left-hand side. And here we go. George Williams with the kick into the corner. It's a good kick. Oh, Namana Tawase has been a bit strange here today. This is going to be off Australia. This is going to be England ball. Namana Tawase has not been good so far. He's been really poor. England have clearly been the better team in this first few moments of this game. I've been impressed by them. They're working hard. They're going hard at it. I would love you to win this game so that we can see a positive game 3. I would love to see you guys win this game so that we can see a highly competitive game 3. So England, Kai Pearce-Paul, need to see a lot more out of him this week. His first tackle 10 metres away from the line. And they'll go out to the left. Get some good attacking fluidity, but Nwani Tawase needs to improve on his defensive positioning because that... 6 again here. Oh, Grant, what's happening here? Oh my gosh, I've got to refresh my stream. Okay, the stream has got a refresh of the actual game itself. Oh, I've got to refresh. Sorry, guys. What's happening here? Oh, my goodness All right, give me 1 second here, guys. I'm trying to refresh this game because I'm on a 30 minutes 20 in. It doesn't say that they've scored. They were getting close. Just trying to refresh it. Clearly, wouldn't, since the Brits are looking a bit sharper tonight, I've got to admit. Yeah, they are looking a lot better, which is what we want to see. We want to see a competitive matchup here. But 13 and a half minutes in, they still haven't been able to find a way to get over the try line, and they're not going to get the ball in their hands the entirety of this game. And Australia will find a way to get themselves right and rocket into this game. So England, they need to be scoring with every opportunity they get down here, and they still haven't scored. Okay, it's about to start back up here for the. Let me just change the audio settings so that I can get just SD. Still taking its damn well sweet time to get back underway, but as I can see here, England hasn't scored. Great defence, Australia. English, not Brits. Yeah, well, I didn't say Brits. I don't. I've never said the word Brits, man. From live. Okay, I would like it to press play here. Great defence, Aussie. So that means that they mustn't have scored. Yep. So it will stay. It will stay as 2-2. I'm going to refresh it again. This is really frustrating right now. Didn't know it was offensive, is it? If it's offensive, do it anyway. Clippy wouldn't. You know. I'm going to start calling them Brits now. I'll start calling them Brits. If it's offensive, good. Good. For some reason, my KO is struggling right now at FFS. Get on with it. So what's happened? Can you guys run me through what's just happened if you are clearly watching the game? If you're watching the game, please let me know what's happening. Bloody Brits. Yeah, exactly right. No, bloody Brit bums. You know. Gary says Reece Walsh has been heavily publicised in the press over here as the Justin Bieber of rugby league. He's a big star over here. Well, he's a big star everywhere. People just don't like to admit it. They just don't like to admit it in Australia. He is the star of the game at the moment, and on form, he would be the best player in the game as we currently speak. Like on form, he's clearly above Cleary, and very clearly the star player of the NRL as we currently speak. Sean James says Brits have to mix 4 countries in, make one team play. And often said it should be Brits. The Ashes have always been Australian Great British Lions, not England. Well, the Ashes have always been Australia versus England at cricket. So not really. And in rugby league terms, I guess Great Britain used to be Great Britain. Why is my KO not working right now? I don't understand why my KO is not working. I'm going to see if I can get VIPbox.tv to work. Maybe I'll get that to work so at least I've got the game on, because this is annoying right now. It's not letting me watch the game, which is very frustrating. Why has this happened all of a sudden now? Fox NRL TV, England versus Australia. Okay, let's try this. It might be a little bit behind though, which I really hope it isn't, but we'll see. We will see. Knock on Brits. Brenton, yeah, everyone's calling you Brits now. Gary, you did this. This is your fault, Gaz. This is completely your fault. You asked people not to say it. At least we're competitive this week. Absolutely. And that's what we want to see. We want to see a competitive game here. Yes, in Cricket League, it's always been Oz versus Great Britain line. Yeah, it's unfair, though, because that's been 20 years since the last time we saw Australia versus England play. So, sure, I get where you're coming from there, but how much does Wales, Ireland, and Scotland actually improve this English team to make a great British team? Ultimately, it's probably going to be the same team. For people who do watch the Super League, would there be any differences? Would you see much of a difference in the team lineup if we did include the rest of the British countries there? Because from what I would gather, I would say probably not, eh? It'd probably be just the same. Why is my KO just not working right now? I don't get it, bloody Gaza. Hey, get into him, you know? Get into him. Penalty for high tackle against Walsh, nothing in it. Gary says, need to be more competitive, otherwise it's an expensive 3 training sessions for Aussies. It should be. it should be. Okay, let me try and see if this will go. If I can... this doesn't usually happen, folks. Well, it's still 2-2. At least I'm able to press play. Or maybe this might show. This might show here. Oh, this is very frustrating. This is very frustrating. Francis Grant Atkins is leaning to the crowd at the moment with the calls. It doesn't surprise me. That does not surprise me that he's jumping to jumping in with the crowd and letting them dictate a lot. Ooh, maybe this might be allowed to play my KO now. My KO might be about to work, which would be a good start. Knock on Aussies, England ball. All right, okay, my KO is working. Beautiful. That's what we'd like to hear. So third tackle England, and they're 20 metres out here from Australia's line. It is quite disappointing that that England is still only 2-2, considering all their ball. It's still only 2-2. And Grant Atkins has not said that it's a restart. So England are going to kick this ball to the right-hand side. Knocked back here, but it's going to be Angus Crichton who picks up the ball at the 5. And it's going to be first tackle here for Australia. Need to be more competitive. Absolutely. Well, this has been a lot more competitive, and it's going to get how much of Asaki, who brings this ball out to the 10 on second tackle. Interesting that Grant Atkins is becoming a crowd pleaser, though, because if he wasn't becoming a crowd pleaser, the way of the holding down the tackles would be penalties. But at least we are seeing a better performance here out of England than last week. Fourth tackle. However, they were close enough in the early stages of last week before Australia blew them apart in the second half. Right-hand side, and Nathan Cleary, he's going to kick that ball long, and that's going to be a great kick that goes down to the 10, to the 5 on England's side of the field. And now Dom Young, he's going to have to run this ball out hard and then get crunched down to the 20. So both teams have got their player back out in the field. They roll it back to the right-hand side, and Tom Johnstone is going to run this ball out to about the 27 or so, second tackle. Game this week, yeah, because it's a normal referee this week. Last week, we had an absolutely dog shit referee who we always criticise, who is an awful referee in, I think, Liam Moore. And this week, we've got Grant Atkins, who is usually a pretty good referee in Australia. And I'm wanting to Wasa, he's going to bring this ball to the 40. Oh, jeez, he's been poor, bro. He's been poor. First tackle at the 40. It's first tackle. They go to the left-hand side. And now they'll bring the ball out to the 50. So I think is that Tino? I know that was Tony Staggs who ran the ball. And now Australia, they're going to be at the 40 on third tackle. The worry here with England is that England have had the better of the ball so far, but Australia are down here. You can't concede immediately to them. Third tackle, Munster at the back, Nathan Cleary. Cleary gives it off here to Reece Walsh. Reece Walsh, Shibasaki, Josh Adokar. Adokar, he goes over the sideline. Don't know why you are testing the sideline there. You didn't have anywhere near the space. Dom Young is an awful defender. For him to get the wood over you, Adokar, is a big worry. It is a big worry. Saxon, brother, I'm going to be honest with you, bro. One more stupid comment, we're just going to hide you, man. There's honestly no point to you being here on the channel. You're not adding anything productive in. You're just saying people are cheating, and it's just pointless. So, listen, if you want to get involved in banter and talk about the game, please feel free to get involved in banter and talk about the game in the chat. But if you're just going to be a loser, dude, and just talk absolute nonsense and not get involved in conversation, we are just going to hide you from the channel. So please grow up and please act like an adult for a change in your life. So it's going to be second tackle here for England, and they're going to be at the 24 on their own side of the field. 20 minutes gone here, guys. 20 minutes to go the first half. Hit that like button and subscribe if you're new around here. England now, third tackle. They're going to get the ball to the 30. Not versus Pull Finger Aussie. I'm sure we don't give a shit about internationals. No way we play to this standard if it's Origin. No way we play to this standard if it's Origin, Noffo. But also, it's going to be a penalty to England here. But also, no way do Australia play to the standard if it's in the World Cup. But again, I did have these criticisms and complaints last week. It's just that England was so poor as well. And it's still only 2-2. It's still only 2-2 in this game. But Australia in the World Cup is very different, and the care factor is a whole different level. But still, you would like to see Australia really to warm up into it, and that's why I feel like the second half, surely we expect to see a better performance out of Australia, because last week in the first half they were really poor, and in the second half they were pretty good. Still had inconsistencies, but still were pretty good. First tackle here for England at the 25. I think it's about the 25 or so. The lines in the field are very hard to look at. Fancy calling your daughter Saxon, Nate says. So they're going to run this ball to the right-hand side. A good run there, but then they give it off to Kai Pearce-Paul, who is going to be 5 or so metres away here from the line. 5 metres out. Good voice coming from the northern crowd at the moment. They kick this ball through, not to play. Oh, I think this is going to be a knock-on here. They're going to score under the post, but I'm pretty certain there might be a knock-on here. It's probably going to be a knock on Reece Walsh first, and then the English player is going to knock on. Oh, my gosh. As they're going up to the bunker, I'm pretty certain KO is about to kick me off. I'm pretty certain KO is about to kick me off here, which is going to be absolutely brutal as they're checking the bunker. What is happening? I don't understand why, as we've gone up here to watch the bunker, Makayo's going to kick me off again. Why is everything having a problem? Brett says, yeah, double knock on. Yeah, I would assume that Reece Welch knocks it on and then into an English knock on before the try. That was an early kick there, third tackle. It was awkward for Australia, but Reece Welch was able to stop it at the very least. Dude, this is brutal. It's finally a good game. We've watched so many diabolically shithouse international games this off-season, and we finally get a good game, and then KO was going to mess up like this. All right, so I think it's about to work again. It's showing. Yeah, okay, it's working. Okay, beautiful. It is a double knock on. So 21 minutes in. 21 minutes in, and it's going to be a double knock on. So we'll be England ball, I guess, at the 10. Fair play from the early hours players. Where at the moment? I'm in Fiji. So Reece Welch will knock it on first. Morgan Knowles then knocks it on. England ball at the 10. England, we need to see, with all this ball, with all this possession, with all this dominant play, we need to see you score. We need to see you score. All right, so the English 10 metres away from the line. We've seen a lot of scrum tries. Nice hot and sunny, always hot and sunny in Fiji, man. Well, in the morning anyway, in the midday, afternoon usually rains. All right, so England at the 10, they go to the right. Oh, that's a knock on. Ooh, they're going to say that was tipped backwards. Yeah, exactly right, Brendan. How was that not a knock on from England? That's usually called as a knock on, but Grant Atkins clearly doesn't have the balls on him. All right, so Morgan Smitty's, he's 10 metres away from the line. Please score, England. You've had all the ball. You need to score. You need to score. You've had all the ball, all the possession, all the attacking rhythm. You need to score. Break through them. That's good scramble defense here from Australia. Well, good rolling defense, not scramble is what I should say. Third tackle for the English. They are 8 metres away from the line. They give it to Callum Watkins, and Callum Watkins is going to get this ball to the 5 on 4 tackle. 4 tackle now. Out to the right, inside, and they're just going to get taken at the 4. Really heavy run there, but they'll be taken down about 3 metres out from the line. 5th tackle. England, we need you to do something here. Matty Lees rolls at the back to Lytton and all the way across to Herbie Farnworth. Herbie Farnworth kicks that ball down into the corner, and that's going to be a 7-tackle set here for Australia. Well, there's no way you're looking at this and saying this is a try. Dom Young knows he hasn't put this ball down. He definitely gets a hand to it, but it's going to be a knock on. Dom Young shaking his head. Grant Atkins, why are you bothering and looking at the bunker here? You're very well aware that he doesn't get this ball down. It should just be a 7-tackle set coming up. Gary says, buzzing for our trip to Oz. Can't wait. Yeah, well, should be a good one, man. But Farnworth. Dom Young's clearly going to be onside. There's no problem with that for the onside. And then Dom Young chasing through. Reece Welch has a bit of a look at him. Gray's keen to see some sun for the first time. Yeah, Gary is keen to see the sun for the first time when he comes over, absolutely. And Dom Young will... Yeah, he... does he actually touch it? Does he actually touch it here? Yeah, his fingertips to the ball. So it will be a knock-on. So it's going to be a 7-tackle set here for Australia at the 20. What are we still looking at here? Come on, lads. Yeah, the commentary's talking about it too. Like, why do they take so long? If they had called that a try, I would have turned the stream off. I would have gone to bed. I would have gone to bed. If they had called that a try, I would have walked away. So it is a no try. It's going to be a 7-tackle set here to Australia at the 20. Really disappointing that England aren't capitalising on their opportunities. They have been the better team in the first 22 minutes here. Australia have not woken up. And penalty to Australia. And penalty to Australia. If I was them, I would take a quick tap here and just run the ball hard, run the ball quickly because... Yeah, look, England, you've had so many chances. If Australia's scoring this set, that's worrying. Novices will break him here. That's what I'm assuming. To give away a penalty there and put Australia onto the attack it's quite brutal. England have been turned away every single time. They shouldn't have gone for the 2 early doors. It didn't make sense because Australia aren't going to concede. For you to win this game, you have to score tries. Kicking the 2 to tie it up there at 7 minutes in made no sense. So Australia's second tackle here at the 40, 23 minutes in. I thought one try with all the ball at least. Absolutely, Slapper. And when they went for the 2, I thought they shouldn't have been going for the 2, but, so be it. Third tackle down to 35. You guys, you create your own poison. They go out to Ruben Cotter, and Cotter's going to be 20 metres away from the line. 4 tackle. Harry Grant goes to the left-hand side. Cameron Munster. This has been a long time since we've seen him down here. Angus Crichton is going to be 10 metres away from the line. I'd love to see Smith. He's got a huge hit. He's a bell end. Clearly says. And there'll be 10 metres out. Harry Grant. Well, that's not square marker. That's 6 again for sure. Well done, Harry Grant. That's smart. That's smart from Harry Grant. He knew it. They weren't square marker. It's 6 again. Very smart from Harry Grant. And it's a penalty here to Australia. They may go for the 2 here. This might even be a bin here. This might be a bin here from Morgan Smithies because that is a knobhead tackle. That is a knobhead tackle. This may be a bin here if they look at this a bit further. Third man in, straight to the legs. In Australia, that's a bin. In Australia, that's a bin. In Australia, that is a bin. You cannot go third man into the legs. And Morgan Smithies, you play in the NRL, you know that should be a bin. You know that should be a bin, Morgan Smithies. In Australia, that would normally be a bin. Why is Grant Atkins not binning that? That is a third man in, tackle into the legs there at the knees. Australia will take the 2 here. Gary says, I've got to go, guys. Enjoy the rest of the weekend and the game. Hopefully it's a lot closer than last week. See you soon. Well, right now it is a lot closer. Possession-wise, England are 54%, but Australia are going to find a way to lead. I don't know how that's not a bin. But anyway, it says Australia got to run away with it. Australia by 30. Well, it's not looking likely right now. Right now, well, maybe in the second half they do. It's what we saw last week. Last week we saw Australia run away with it in the end. All right. So Nathan Cleary. Oh, this is turning into a game of rugby union. Turning into a game of rugby union, mate. So Nathan Cleary, he will make it 4-2. Don't like Australia going for the 2s, but, at the end of the day, they're not the ones who've had the field position. They are not the ones who've had the field position. Gee whiz, my nose is about to... Hold on. A very stop-start game here. A lot of penalties, which is what we were assuming. Surprising that we haven't seen a couple of tries scored. Very surprising. Grant is worried about getting a fine for making correct calls due to the new laws there at the moment. What? What do you mean? So Tino's going to bring this ball out here to the 10 on first tackle. Harry Grant gives it off here to Hudson Young, and Hudson Young is going to be the 10. I don't think Hudson Young is an international or representative player, man. I haven't seen enough from him in New South Wales or Australian level. He hasn't done enough. Give someone else an opportunity because he's not taking his opportunity at full grasp. Third tackle down to 20. Any New South Wales fan disagree with me? Do you feel like Hudson Young is a benefit to your team? I don't. Paddy Carrigan now is going to be at the 35, I think, maybe 40. That's past the horizontal. Nope. 4 tackle. Nothing's a horrible game, to be honest. Well, not really. I wouldn't say it's a horrible game. It's been enjoyable in the sense that England are actually competing in it, but it's just not been a high fluidity attacking scoring game. But we did see a similar game last week, but just with a lot more errors and mistakes and whatnot. This week is just more about penalties, and there isn't tries being scored. I'd like to see Preston have a go. Yeah, Jacob Preston would be good. I wouldn't mind a bit of Jacob Preston. Wouldn't mind a bit of Jacob Preston. Hudson has done nothing in all his Origin games. Yeah, except for try and start fights that he loses. It's ridiculous. Third tackle, Dom Young knocks the ball on. That is Dom Young for you. And there is your issue there, England. After all your possession, after all of your domination, you are down 4-2 and Australia's going to go back on the attack. Watch Australia break them apart right here. Competitive, just not as exciting. Yeah, I would agree with that, Max Watson. I would agree with that. England are going to challenge this. Dom Young, you better hope this isn't a knock-on. But 12k people have been fined over social media and prison for speaking out against the deep state. Don't read this out. No, I know all about this. I'm not in England, mate, so they can't arrest me. I'm not obviously going to speak about it anyway because it's not related to this, but it's a lot more so as well to do with policing and stuff like that. Australia's bringing it in too, I'm pretty certain. I don't know if Dom Young did knock this ball on. So where did he call the knock on here? Oh, that is maybe a knock on. Yeah, it rests on his arm. This is going to be a knock on. Dom Young. Yeah, he's lost the ball there. They're going to say this is a knock on into Cameron Munster's hand here. Yeah, they're going to say this is an unsuccessful challenge. So England will lose their challenge and Australia will get the ball at 20. Good work, Dom Young. All he does is try stuff fights. Yes, but and it's just weird because like what this can't be a coaching thing because you're not going to see Ricky Stewart, Michael Maguire, and now Kevin Walters all have the same process and all have the same plan for you as a player. I don't know why you're surprised, Dom Young. You can clearly see that you would have knocked the ball on without Cameron Munster's hand there. So Australia are going to get the ball here about maybe 30 metres away from the line. Can I just ask you guys in the chat, are you as confused as I am in regards to the lines on the field and where... I know this is a football stadium. I know this is a Premier League stadium. But surely they could have done a better job with lines. Surely we could have done a better job with lines to see where the ball is in the field. Because I cannot even... I can maybe just see the 20, maybe just. Australia here, 25 metres out from the line, first tackle. And 6 again for Australia. Harry Grant gives it off here to Hudson Young, and he's going to lose 3 metres. Good stuff, Hudson. Very good, Hudson. Very good, Hudson. Really top-tier stuff there, Hudson. All right, so they'll go to the... okay, well, it's going to freeze up here. Hold on. It's going to refresh. Just as Australia is going back onto the attack here. Okay, why is this doing this? Oh, my goodness me. I don't understand what's happening here. Oh, my gosh. Sorry, guys. This has been happening the entire time so far. It is still 4-2. It is still 4-2 as we currently speak. I'm trying to refresh the KO because for some reason KO just wants to be a real negative Nancy today. Real negative Nancy. Smithy's had his arm around Tino's neck when he loses the ball. Okay, so England have the ball. We're back underway. 28 minutes gone, and England have the ball at what, the 20? Yeah, Dom Young now brings it out second tackle to the 22. Yeah, the biggest criticism you can have for England so far is they're not executing on the position that they've had. But overall, they've still been a lot better than last week. This is a very much defensive mindset game. It isn't as exciting as last week, but it is better quality than last week. The game is better quality than last week. Third tackle at the 45. Now fourth tackle, and it'll be Kai Pearce-Paul. I just haven't seen Kai Pearce-Paul explode into the play that people thought he would be at the Knights, and now he's at the Tigers. But I haven't seen him really explode into the play that we all thought he was going to be. Fifth tackle, that's a good chase through there from Munster to put some pressure on the kick. And Nwanga Tawase will grab this ball at the 20. He's not dropping the ball there, lads. All the English getting up and about. There's no way Nwanga Tawase is dropping the ball in that situation, even though he hasn't been great today. And Katoni Staggs is going to get this ball out to the 30 or so. Yeah, you know what? It is interesting. Cooper Kong's making a very good point here. Grant Atkins is struggling to find the 10 metres because there is no lines on the field. Grant Atkins is finding it very difficult to actually decide the 10-metre line. Because in the NRL, you can easily have a line to dictate the 10 metres. In this game, it's super difficult to figure out where 10 metres is. Paddy Carrigan run inside Nathan Cleary, goes in himself at the 50. Wrong play. Wrong play for Nathan Cleary. He's not been great today. And now Reece Walsh is going to get hit in the air. He's going to get hit in the air. He's going to get hit in the air. Oh, Grant Atkins, you're going to allow that. You're going to allow that, Grant Atkins. That's crazy. AJ Bremson's going to bring this ball out here to the 20. Grant Atkins allowing that play. In NRL, Grant Atkins would have called that as a penalty every single week. That is disgraceful from Grant Atkins. Dom Young is going to be taken down to the 20. You and I both damn well know, Grant Atkins, you call that as a penalty every week in the NRL. KPP has potential. I think he'd ever get to play his offloads on Adam O'Brien. Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. Will we see it at the Tigers? Yeah, probably, actually. Probably. Forward tackle now for England at the 50. That does not surprise me with the field marking. Absolutely. George Williams will be taken down here about 32 metres out. Walmsley comes on for Matty Lees. And Smith bombs it up into the corner. Knocked back here from England. It's still England ball. Kai Pearce-Paul into the line. Oh, England will be about a couple of metres short. England will be a couple of metres short. That was so close, though. So close for the English to break through. Kevin Walters has got to be a little bit concerned right now. 30 minutes in, guys. 30 minutes in. 10 minutes to go the first half. Hit that like button and subscribe. 4-2. By the way, England have to win this game, mind you. They have to. Gemma Lowe says, you're watching this on Cow. You got that catch splash. I'm just waiting on 9. I didn't even know it was available on 9. I'm in Fiji, so. And also, we stream every single game here on the channel. So, I pay for watchNRL.com internationally, and I also pay for KO. But, yeah, KO's been a bit annoying today. Out of the left to Keon Kolomatangi. We didn't see much of last week. 4 tackle now at the 30. And it'll be Harry Grant. He's going to... Well, that's not going to be square. That should have been a 6 again there, Grant Atkins. Oh, there's so many calls. It's like you finally get an Australian referee in a game like this, and you can criticise many calls in the game. Yet again, it's like you get a decent enough referee, one that is one of the better in the NRL, but yet he's still making quite considerable mistakes based on the rules that we see in the NRL that he referees under. Second tackle here for England. They're going to be at the 20. They go to the right to Dom Young, and Dom Young is now going to be at the 35 on third tackle. At least it is hopefully going to be a closer game than last week's. I can't believe how not close last week's game was. I can believe it, but I can't believe it with the fact that it was an English referee that was slowing the ruck down. Takes off. It's going to be 4 tackled here for England at the 44. Who's reffing the third? I don't know who's reffing the third, actually. Who is reffing? Does anyone know who's reffing the third match of this tri-series? And the one to Wasey. Good grab under the eyeball. We all know he's good for that. 10 metres out from his own line. I would not be surprised if we go in at halftime 4-2, which is really impressive for England. It would be Reece Walsh. He's not been able to get into this game at all today. Second tackle now at the 12. Why are we looking at the one to Wasey right now? The game is quite clearly on broadcast. Munster, he'll give it to Angus Crichton. Crichton's going to be looking for a little hole, and he will find a bit of a hole, and he'll get this ball out of the 25, and he'll get the offload away. Really nice run there from Crichton. And Hudson Young is going to disappoint yet again. Third tackle at 30. God, Hudson Young, bro, do something. England been fed the silver spoon and still can't score. I know, it's absolutely shocking, Brenton. 40-20 attempt there. Will that be a 40-20? That's a 40-20, I think. This is a 40-20. This is a 40-20. This is a 40-20. They're going to review it because we can't see the lines. This is a 40-20 from Nathan Cleary. I'm pretty certain it's a 40-20, but the referees don't even know. I don't know because there's no lines. I'm 100% that's a 40-20. That's about the 30 he's kicking that from. Now is when you need lines, absolutely. He's kicking it from about the 30. And it's gone to, I think, the 15. Pearl of a kick. Beautiful kick. Hard to see a line. Well, it was a 40-20, but then why are we getting the ball back at the 21? If it's a 40-20, well, then it's inside the... Okay. So, first tackle here. Well done, official. Second tackle now, 10 metres out. Why is there no lines? Andrew, because Everton played last week and they probably play this week at home. And Australia now, so maybe they don't want to mess the field up too much. Third tackle for Australia. And they're going to be 5 metres away. No, they're going to get the offload away. Oh, forward pass. I would love to see this again. But I'm trying to figure out how... 1 second. Harry Grant. Yeah, it's full pass. Correct call. How, if it's a 40-20, why is Australia starting with the ball at the 21 if the touch judge went at the 15? So why have we lost 6 metres? Why have we lost 6 metres in the 40-20? You get the ball from where the ball went out, and the ball went out at the 15 where the touch judge was. Why did the Australians get the ball at the 21 when the ball went out at the 15? Herbie Farnworth will get taken out of the 10. Let's see Australia try and lock them down here. We're playing like shite. Australia are playing like shit, Noffo, and England are playing really well to their standard, but they're just not able to score. And the score is still 4-2 Australia, which should tell you a lot. Second tackle, but Australia are not playing well at all. At all. They definitely deserve the criticism at half time. All right, so second tackle here for England, and they're at their own 30 or so, and KO is freezing up. They go to the left. They go to the left again. And now it'll be Tom Johnstone. No, it's Jake Wardle, sorry, who's at the 48. Now to the right-hand side, they'll be 50 metres away. Fit tackle. 5 minutes to go here of the first half. Oh, it's probably really odd. Well, 21 makes no sense, though. If it was 20, then sure, it's an English rule, but 21 makes no sense. Nwanga Tawase grabs that ball and brings this ball out to about the 20 or so on first tackle. How do English commentators commentate this if they don't? Oh, good run there from, is it Tony Staggs? Second tackle. Hudson Young. Waste of a run, dude. Hudson Young, please take him off the field. He's so useless when it comes to representative level. Out of the right, really quick play. Really quick play. Tony Staggs to bring this ball to the 50 on fourth tackle. I love Hudson Young for the Raiders, but when he plays international or representative, I just really dislike him, eh? Fifth tackle at the 45, Harry Grant. I think he stutters it. Reece Walsh, good chase. Here we go. Reece Walsh, good chase. Knock back. Australia, chance. Where's the ball? England will pick it up. He's going over the sideline. Oh, he's lost the ball. Or what? What? Grant Atkinson said that Reece Walsh has knocked this ball forwards. Reece Walsh has knocked his ball forwards? Hold on. So it's going to be at the 10. In what world is that forward, Grant Atkins? He's hitting it back anyway. England ball here at the 16. Was he not hitting that backwards? All right, so Kaipi's Paul, you're going to be at the 20. Second tackle. Rain has returned. This won't help the Aussies. Third tackle, especially with a guy like Nathan Cleary. Panthers are very well known for not playing well in rain. And fourth tackle for the English. They're going to be about 46 metres out here from their own line. This is very reminiscent of that 6-0 Rugby League World Cup final. Goes back and rolls forward. Nothing in it. Exactly. All right, so I think this is fifth tackle. It is. Yeah, the on-screen number was wrong. And that's going to be a penalty. What the fuck are you doing, Cameron Munster? They might take the 2 here. That's disgraceful from Munster. Like, he's just literally walked into the player and deliberately blocked him off. That is so obviously a penalty, England. It's so obvious. Like, what is he doing? You know that's going to be... Oh, sorry, Reece Walsh, not Munster. What is he doing, dude? What are you doing? That was always going to be called as a penalty. There was not even a discussion. There's not even a question mark there. That is a blatant penalty. And this is the problem with Reece, is that he can be so good, but he can also be so bad. And he's doing nothing at the moment. And guess what? England are going to take the 2. England are going to take the 2. Yeah, it was Walsh. Sorry, for some reason, my screen's a little bit blurry at the moment. A little bit blurry. So England are going to take the 2 here to try and tie it up at 4-4. I think this is still more disappointing it's disappointing from both sides here. England should be leading with how much ball and attacking possession they've been. They've been such a better team, but Australia have been so poor and it's still going to be tied 4-4 if you make this kick. I really would like a decider, though. It would be nice to see England win this and actually send it to a decider, though. It would be nice for next week. So 1 minute to go here in the first half, and Jake Wardle should be getting this kick, and he will be getting this kick. So it is 4-4 with a minute to go in the first half. I love this penalty goal shootout we got here. Yeah, it's like the Rugby World Cup final of 1995. The writer says, we seem a bit rattled. Reece unnecessarily did that there, and Grant some unusual passes. It's like they're ensuring that it's competitive, because it just doesn't make sense the way that a lot of these players are playing right now. And it doesn't make sense the way that Grant Atkinson is refereeing the game, but it's really interesting. Like, are they deliberately trying to make this game an interesting game? Because it's just the way that these two teams, Australia's played, the players that are making mistakes are usually the ones that... It's just really odd. It's really odd right now. I'm confused. Especially considering Australia are like a machine when they're defending, but when they're attacking, it's like they don't know their left from their right. Okay, Grant Atkinson's heard the siren, and it's halftime 4-4. Bit of a biffo here. I don't understand. Am I saying that England had a successful first half because they were maybe the better team? Or am I saying that England have had an unsuccessful first half because they've dominated and yet are still 4-4? I don't know how to read this half. I really don't. I don't know what to say about that first half there, because England should be leading. Let's go through the stats. Let's go through the stats here at halftime. England should be leading this. Look at these stats. Oh, okay, let's read the stats. Hit that thumbs up button, subscribe. England should not be tied at this game. And that is a problem. That is a significant problem. So Harry Smith has scored twice for England in the penalties, and Nathan Cleary scored twice for the Kangaroos. Now, possessions-wise, England have 55% possession. Australia have 45% possession. That's a 10% swing, and they're lucky to even be at 4-4, considering that Reece Walsh just gave away a ridiculous penalty. But 10% possession swing is massive. That is massive. 55% to 45% is ridiculous. If Australia can get up to 50% possession at the end of the game, they win this game with by 12 points. You know, they're down by 10% right now and still at 4-4. Time possession, 10 minutes 55 for Australia, 13 minutes and 8 seconds for England. Bro, AJ's Walsh worried. Absolutely not, bro. Absolutely not. But 13 minutes and 8 seconds time in possession for England to 10 minutes 55 for Australia. So it's about, a 2 minute and 15 second swing there in favour of England. It's decent enough there. Still not at 25 minutes of time possession. So it is under the 25 minute, 26 minute, 25, 26 minutes of time possession is what you look for at a minimum. They're not even at 25. So that is pretty disappointing in regards to time possession. Completion rate. How is England not winning this game? It is 85%, 17 from 20 for England, 68% for Australia, 13 from 19. How is England not winning this game? Your attack is diabolical, or Australia just for some reason are not playing well attack and they're just defending like machines. Not that I think that Australia's defending like machines, I just don't think England have had the attack. But 68% to 85%, 80% is where you want to be at. Australia is at 68. That's well below, and England is at 85. That is decently above. What is happening? Yeah, exactly right, Don. Australia again with so many errors. But this was the first half last week. Now, runs-wise, 88 runs for England, 669 run meters. Australia, 71 runs for 507 run meters. This is bad. This is bad from both teams. 88 to 669 is 211 run meters behind the 10 meters an average per run that you look for England. 88 for 669 is 211 run meters behind. And for Australia, they are 204 run meters behind where you would like to be seeing them with 507 from 71. Both teams here, runs-wise, this is why England aren't winning this game, because their run meters are nowhere near good enough. Post-contact meters is 216 to 193 England's way, 88-71 in regards to runs, 17 run gap. If Australia got the same amount of runs, they're probably going to be at a very... Australia would probably be very similar, if not just under, England's run meters, and they'd be well above their post-contact. This is a very odd game. This is a very, very odd game right now. Line breaks 1-0 England. Tackle breaks is 24-12 England. Just astonishing stats here. Average set distance is 33.46 for England and 26.68 for Australia. 25 metres and under on an average set is you turn the stream off, it's that bad. 25 metres and under, they're at 26.68. 25 to 30 is disgusting. 30 to 35 is underwhelming. 35 to 40 is hitting the marker. 40 to 45 is great. 45 to 50 is fantastic. And 50 plus is brilliant. Basically perfect. 26.68 is absolutely horrific from Australia. Horrific from Australia. And England at 33.46 is still in the underwhelming category. The mid-range, the underwhelming category between 30 and 35. So both teams not going well there, but Australia, horrific. Average play the ball speed is... Grant Atkins isn't getting control of the game, ruck speed. Grant Atkins is not getting control of the game's ruck speed. It is 3.76 seconds for England and 3.71 seconds for Australia, which is down at the very slow category. That is slow. That is very typically slow for England. So Grant Atkins didn't come in to do what he was expected to do. He is not getting the play the ball speed at a normal rate. He is playing into England's hands again with the ruck speed and is not penalising anywhere near as much as it should be because that is slow ruck speeds. Offloads 3-0 Australia away. Kick defusal is 40% Australia, 0% for England. 40-20, obviously Australia 1, England 0. Now, effective tackle percentage-wise is quite interesting. Sorry. anything below 85% is disgusting. 85% to 88% is underwhelming. 88% to 90% is hitting the marker, and then 90% and above is basically perfect. So England have had a basically perfect first half with 90.59%, 154 tackles made for 12 missed tackles and 4 ineffective tackles. Now, an average amount of missed tackles at a half is 15 to 17, so they are 3 below the lowest of the averages, which is great. And the 4 ineffective is 2 below the average of 6-7 on the lower end. So 4 ineffective tackles, that is also great. So 16 bad tackles, it's not too shabby. 90%, you're loving it. Australia at 87.11%, so they're in the underwhelming category. They're not too far down, but they're not hitting the marker for 88% to 90%. 87.11%. Tackles made, 169 for 24 missed tackles and 1 ineffective. So 24 missed tackles is 7 higher missed tackles than the higher of the averages of 15 to 17. 24 missed tackles is a big number. That's a really, really big number. Again, it's 4-4. And this is why I keep saying, England have dominated this game. England have clearly been the better team in this game. How are you not winning this game? How has it taken you to the 37th minute of the game just to tie the game at 4-4? It makes no sense. Australia have played some dribble footy, and yet they're still not losing this game. 25 bad tackles to 16 bad tackles. Australia have clearly had the worst half there defensively, but still, tie game 4-4. Now, here's the biggest key telling point. Here is the biggest key telling point for this game. Errors-wise. 3 and under is great. 4 to 6 is average. 7 and above is awful. I'm not going to be a surprising buddy statistician when I tell you who's got 9 errors and who's got 3 errors. How is it 4-4? England, what the fuck? Like, England, it's 4-4. Australia have been awful in every area of this game. They've got 9 errors, which is 2 above the awful category. And you've had a 3, which is a great amount of errors. 3 and under is beautiful. You have had 6 less errors than Australia. How has it taken you 37 minutes just to tie the game? That is awful from Australia. And then penalties conceded is 5-4 against Australia. They are still penalised more. Ruck infringements is 2-2 and sin bins is 1-1. Dude, if Australia even play to a remote ability that they are normally to play for, if they just play at 30% compared to the 20% that they've played at, they win this game and win this game with ease. But if they play like they did in the first half, you would have to hope and expect England to win. Because otherwise, it is embarrassing for international rugby. There's no way with the International Rugby League that any team, that England should be losing to Australia with these stats. They have got a bad completion rate. They've had a lackluster 11 minutes with the ball. Their possession is way low on 45%. They are 204 metres behind the 10 metres in average per run that you're looking for. They are average as hell in regards to post-contact metres. They haven't had a single line break. They've given up 24 missed tackles. They're making 26.68 metres per set, which is pathetic. They've got a slow play the ball speed. They've got a couple of offloads. Their defense is underwhelming. They've missed a whole bunch of tackles, but luckily they've had less ineffective tackles. They've had a ridiculous amount of errors. They've had a ridiculous amount of penalties and a consistent amount of ruck infringements, and they've had a sin bin as well. This team should not be winning, and this team should not even be in this game. If this was a stat line from any other team, England would it just is perplexing. It's perplexing what's happening right now. New Zealand would have put Australia to bed. Australia would be down 30-0. Australia would be down 20-0 by New Zealand right now. Australia would be down 20 points to 6 or 24 points to 6 by Samoa and Tonga right now. And this is why I say I would like England to win this game. As an Australian, I would ignore the banter and the sledging that will cop. I don't care. I would like Australia to lose this game to England because it would actually show some competitive nature about the international game. Because the fact that this is close right now with those stats would not look out of line with the Newcastle Knights. They would not look out of line with the Gold Coast Titans. And they would not look out of line with teams in the bottom 4 from the NRL, from Australia. And yet they're still 4-4 and we're up for most of that half. Dead set. Brenton says, if Moses was playing, we would be up by 20. Stop it. Stop it. Don't you bloody damn well start. I might go grab a Coke Zero. I should have a coffee, but I might have a Coke Zero. You might hear the alarm. I'm going to leave my microphone on. I'm going to leave my microphone on. I'm going to go out and I'm going to get the Coke Zero. You might hear the alarm go off. I hope it doesn't go off, but I do need to get a drink of something because I've finished my water and it is 3:30 in the morning. So guys, hit that thumbs up button and subscribe. It will wake up the Australians. Hopefully, Andrew. Hopefully it wakes up both teams. But thumbs up, subscribe. I'll be back in about 2 minutes' time. Hopefully you don't hear the alarm go off. I don't know if you can hear it, but that is so loud, dude. That is so loud. Intruder alert. It actually is. That is so loud. Is it still going? Oh my gosh, it's still going. My mum's in the house. It stopped. Oh, thank God. Dude, I know she wakes up at this time early in the morning anyway. She'll probably be awake regardless, to be fair. But it's so stupid, that alarm. It's like the alarm, be it for outside, make it outside. Making it inside is the most pointless thing ever. I just want to go and have a coffee or a Coke Zero without waking the entire neighborhood up. Gee whiz. Hammer Fires, does anyone know a streaming site to watch it on? VIPbox.tv probably gets you through, mate. Probably gets you through. I've been watching it for like 20 minutes. I don't know if every time I watch it, Walsh gives away a penalty. Yeah, Reece hasn't been good today. No one from Australia's been good today. And that's the thing. Australia, it's like they don't give a shit. It really is. It's like they don't give a shit. Can someone show me a reason to believe that Australia give a shit in this game? Because the criticism for Nathan Cleary absolutely has to come. No one's standing up in that spine. And I said before the game started that Nathan Cleary I didn't think was bad last week because you don't need to stand up when other players are standing up. We saw Reece stand up and whatnot. Nathan Cleary, Munster, Reece Walsh, and Harry Grant, none of them stood up. So, jeez, showed a link. God help you, hammerfied. But Nathan Cleary needs to stand up. Reece Walsh has been really poor. Munster hasn't done anything. Harry Grant hasn't done anything besides throw forward passes. Nathan Cleary has to stand up. He got a 40-20, which is good. I'll give him that. I'll give him that. He got a 40-20. But outside of that, who's been good? You know, no one at Wase made a few mistakes early. Staggs has probably been one of the better. I'd say Tony Staggs has probably been Australia's best. I'll have a look at some player stats here and we'll see. I'm going to say, without seeing the stats yet, I think that Katoni Staggs has probably been Australia's best. Okay, Staggs, 6 runs for 44 metres, 16 post contact, 1 tackle break, 10 tackles made for 0 missed tackles. Yeah, I knew his defense was up there. So defensively, he's been great. Who's been the best attacker? Honestly, I would say statistically, Tony Staggs has clearly been Australia's best. Like, he's battling forwards there. Like, the wingers are going to be running the ball back from kicks at 59 and 40. So, remove that. The other centre, Shibasaki's at 2 runs for 12 metres. What is that? Tony Staggs has got more run metres than Tino. He's got 12 less run metres than Angus Crichton. He's got 11 less run metres than Hudson Young. He's got the same amount of metres as Paddy Carrigan. He's got 9 more metres than Ruben Cotter. Tony Staggs having a game, bro. Tony Staggs having a game comparatively, considering the way Australia has played so far. Tony Staggs has quite clearly, for mine, been the best player, especially defensively as well. 10 tackles made for 0 missed. You are not complaining. But all right, second half is about to get started here, guys. Australia out in the field. England are running out now. Hit that thumbs up button, subscribe, and let's see how this game finishes up. I would like to see England win to send us to a care factor game next week. Otherwise, we will have to wake up at the same time next week for a game that means nothing. For a game that would mean absolutely nothing. And so I think Dearden's been amazing. What are you smoking? Are you smoking something? Are you smoking something? Tom Dearden not played yet. We haven't seen Tom Dearden on the field yet. You smoking something, Andrew? It's this early in the morning. Gee whiz. Gee whiz. But all right, England will receive the ball here 3 minutes out from their own line. Now this is where it all went wrong for them last week. So we'll see. I was joking because he hasn't been on. Definitely hasn't been on. My cock says, did they both miss the conversions or am I blind? There's been 4 penalties, mate. There hasn't been a try scored. So third tackle for England. They're going to get this ball here to the 30. 30 metres away from their own line. So you're actually completely wrong on the opposite end. They're actually perfect kicking-wise. They're actually perfect, yeah. So Herbie Farnworth is going to get this ball to the 45 on the Australian side of the field. Don't forget, guys, later on today, we will be watching on as Tonga take on New Zealand in a big game. And Reece Walsh will grab it. Actually impressive that he grabbed that ball. It's quite the name. Yes, Brenton. I try to figure out... Hey, by the way, Mike, is it possible that you could change your YouTube name so that I can actually read your name out? Because I just can't read that name out, can I? So Josh Adokar is going to be the 20. And they're going to roll it back to Harry Grant. You're more than blind. It should be telling taxi. Should be. Forward tackle. And Kolon Matangi. He'll go across to Paddy Carrigan. Carrigan now. I would have liked him to run that shape there and pass that ball. All right. That's a little bit gay, Andrew, to say that name is perfect. A little bit. But that's your choice in life. Oh my gosh. Australia might score here. That's a great play from Nathan Cleary. England will grab it. Tom Johnstone. He can get away here. That's a great run from Tom Johnstone. He's been impressive these first 2 games. Maybe not attacking-wise, but defensively for sure. That was a nice little kick there from Munster, and then Nathan Cleary followed up. Good tackle from Gehem Archibasaki on Dom Young there. Second tackle. Now third tackle on Herbie Farnworth will only be about 22 metres out. Now he gets the offload away to AJ Brimson, and AJ Brimson is going to get it out to about the 40. Third tackle. Right now stepped in it. Yeah, well, that's your choice, Andrew. You know, you're able to do what you want to do, mate. Forward tackle for Australia at the 48. And now they'll go to Smitty's and then Walmsley. Walmsley at the 43. Out to the left and Harry Smith is going to kick this one down. No one look. What's Reece Walsh doing? What is Reece Walsh doing? You are the fullback. It's going to be a penalty here to Australia. Offside against England. That's very lucky. Reece Walsh, what are you doing? Reece Walsh has just taken his eyes off of the ball and told no one at the says like, you're the fullback, dude. Catch the ball. And Reece is just like, I don't even know where the ball is right now. They're all offside on the inside. But what's Reece doing? Reece, that was so odd. Walsh was ball watching. The communication there was just abysmal. Abysmal. England, you have to win this game. Australia playing horrific. You have to win this game, England. Second tackle. It's pissing me off that you're not winning this game. Is it pissing anybody? Oh, for God, I've hit Grassy McGrath. We're going to start talking about Grassy McGrath in a second. Third tackle here for Australia to 42. Becky says he was doing it in the first half, doing block instead of catching. Yeah, exactly right, Becky. That's why they got a penalty, which tied the game up 4-4. Is it actually pissing anybody else off that England aren't? Oh my gosh, that's going to work out. Nwanga Tawase at the 50, the 45, the 40, the 35, the 30. Oh, Nwanga Tawase has been so bad in this game. Can we banter England if we win? Andrew, I'm going to slaughter England online if we win because we should not win this game. We should not be tied in this game. What are we watching? Like, hold the ball, Slapper says. My goodness. Oh, my. I'm losing my mind, guys. This is a circus. This is a circus. England have knocked the ball on. As Slapper says, hold the ball. We've just seen Walmsley just drop the ball cold. Well, Munster comes in, but like, oh my gosh, pray for Fiji. Oh my goodness me, dude. Sean Wayne has to get sacked as coach. You have to. Sound the alarm. I'm going to run out into the kitchen soon. I'm going to run out just to make sure the alarm goes off. All right, so Australia here at the 20. Sniff the jar. I don't have it. I can't sniff the jar. 6 again here for Australia at the 20. For the love of God, Australia, just put it to bed. Just do it. You've played around too much. Just put it to bed now. Just put it to bed now. For the love of God, like please, do us all a favour. Just do us all a favour and put England out of their misery. For the love of all that is mighty. Second tackle, 10 metres away from the line. Paddy Carrigan, Harry Grant, Nathan Cleary to Reece Walsh. Reece Walsh is going to step. I wonder if there's going to be any people out there who defend this Australian performance today. I wonder if there'll be a single Australian who will defend this shit. Harry Grant goes to Keon. Keon will get the offload away to Reece Walsh. Reece Walsh at the 10, at the back of Cleary. What is happening? Hudson Young. And Hudson Young will be taken down exactly where the previous tackle was made. 7 metres out. Harry Grant across to Munster. Munster short ball to Cotter. And Cotter's going to be... This is actually decent defence from England, though. I will give him credit. Fit tackle, 5 metres out. Harry Grant out the back end of Munster. Munster short ball. I just can't put up with this Australian team. I can't do it. I'm going to lose my mind watching them, eh? It's another knock on from Australia. It's incredible. It is actually a spectacle. This is actually spectacular, the amount of errors Australia have had in this game. What is Aussie doing making the English look like world beaters? They're not making England look like world beaters. This is the same thing as what Fiji were doing at Papua New Guinea. And this is what I kept saying. Papua New Guinea looked as good as they did because Fiji was so bad. It was so bad yesterday. England have thrown the ball over the sideline, have they? Oh, for God's sake, lads. I'm going to throw up watching rugby league at this standard. I'm going to throw up. I'm going to throw up. I'm going to throw up. I'm going to throw up watching rugby league at this standard. This is Australia versus England, and we've just seen England throw the ball over the sideline. I can't do it, lads. It's 3:47 in the morning. I've woken up at 2 a.m. in the morning to watch Australia make 12 errors in the first 47 minutes and England throw the ball over the fucking sideline. Like, I've woken up at 2 in the morning to watch a game with... I can't. I'm losing my mind. I'm losing my mind. We all should have just gone to bed, Marcel. You're right. So Australia here at 30. I'm losing my mind. I'm losing my mind, lads. I'm losing my mind. You want to hear a positive? The positive is that all my friends and family who I love and care about deeply are all asleep right now. How about that? So Ruben Cotter, they're going to be at the 14 third tackle. Oh, Andrew, that'll do me. You're done. We'll see you in a minute. That's made my night even worse, just hearing that news. All right, Munster. I think that's a try time. For Munster. It's not going to be double movement. He doesn't progress the arm, and it is going to be momentum, and Grant Atkins will call it that way. That's going to be a try time. This will be momentum. Yeah, Grant Atkins does have it as a try. He does have it as a try. This is going to be momentum for sure. Munster doesn't progress the arm to get there, and it's going to be some Munster magic that it's has at least done something here to liven the game up just a tad, just a little bit is something. But Munster, he'll break through. They can't complete the tackle, and it's fine. So that'll be 8-4 here with the kid to come. You can't take that away. Thank God it's been stressful. Got to be a try. It has to be. There's no way. There's no way you can take that off him. No way, buddy. No way. We're still waiting here for it. Oh, I'm going to have to refresh the Refresh the score. If you are new here, by the way, we don't usually react to this standard. Oh my gosh, I got to change mine. There's no way. Unless the bunker wants to get into the shithousery. They haven't called a try yet. Jack Smith having some sort of game. No, there's no way they're about to call this as a no try. Seb, sorry, my KO has just gone corrupt. There's no way that we've seen them call that as a no try as a dove movement. Is that what you're referring to? That was very clear and genuine. It was very clear and genuine that was just momentum, not to try. Okay, thank you, Seb Watson. Gee whiz, you're going to give me a heart attack, mate. You know, the quality of this game has been so just awful. It's been close, but it's just been dreadful. That I would have probably had a heart attack had we seen Australia get caught a no try there. I think that would have done me over. I think it would have done me over, and I would have probably put my head through this laptop. But it is 8-4 to Australia. Kevin Munster with the try time. We've seen someone from the spine turn up and give it a crack. Seb, I got to ask you, as an Englishman, mate, what are your thoughts right now? What are your thoughts as we currently speak? Because England have clearly been the better team in a lot of aspects today. Australia have been absolutely dribble from the start, and yet we're still winning this game. It is actually baffling. It is insane. I'm flabbergasted that this game is Australia right now, and that should tell us everything we need to know about the international game. There's no way Australia should be winning this game. There's just no world. There's no world. There is no. Brent says PNG would be beating us. Don't start, Brenton. Don't start. PNG would be beating. PNG beating us. No, that'd do me. That'd do me. Our attack isn't good enough. I said the same last week. We didn't create enough defense, but we have been pretty good, and it's very Super League one out carries. Boy, oh boy. Tomorrow, which will be live at 5 p.m. Fiji time. That'll be 4 p.m. Queensland, 4 p.m. New South Wales time, 3 p.m. Queensland time. Still trying to get my KO back up. Yeah, your attack's been awful, Seb. Your attack's been awful. Defensively, you've been fine. You've been pretty good defensively. But Australia have been just horrific, where it's like, is it England's defense or is Australia attack just so poor? And I would definitely lean with the fact of the 12 errors from Australia? What are they on now? They're on 11 errors. Isan Masters, your friend, would have scored a double on us. All right, Andrew, we've had just about enough of you, mate. We've had just about enough of you. Why is my KO still not showing me the game right now? It's still not showing me it. It's probably a bonus, to be fair. As heartful as England have been, really, they'd be upset they didn't manage to cross the line with the first half with all that ball. That's exactly what I'm saying, Duraz. That is exactly what I'm saying. They should have crossed the line. They should have been up by 12 at minimum. At minimum. Like, I wouldn't even be surprised if this breaks the floodgates for Australia. I would not be surprised if this breaks the floodgates for Australia. I'm going to try and see if I can go across here to KO on Internet Explorer instead of Chrome, because for some reason it's causing me a few cheeky little problems here. For the time being, it says 8-4. Herbie been strong for England again so far. Yeah, Herbie's been good, but you expect that. That is an expectation. And how's the internet? Because the stream is a bit laggy too. Is it laggy still? Like, is it lagging as we currently speak? My internet seems like it's working fine. Your game back? No, game's not back yet. I'm still trying to get it done. Still trying to get it going, bro. We're in again. There you go. Floodgates are on. Yeah, floodgates have opened, guys. And England, the fact you're going to get slapped here is hilarious. Is the England coach an old legend player or just some random rugby league coach? That's a great question for the English here, actually. Wayne said Watson. Who is he? Is he like an ex-legend for England or what's the go there? So Hudson Young scored 52nd minute. Hudson Young, and it's 12-4. England don't win for me. They just don't win. Is it Sean Wayne? What's his name? Is Sean Wayne, yeah. Adichie says, hi, when are you YouTube live normally? I'm live for every single rugby league game. every single rugby league game, and from next year's Super League as well. So we're always here. We're always here, Aditya. And tomorrow we'll be live for Tonga versus New Zealand when that game is on, mate. Hudson has done something in this series. Wow, Hudson's done something this year that's not been for Canberra. Really impressive. Really impressive there. I think my game might be about to come back on here. Yep, okay. My game is about to come back on, which is beautiful. It was Duraz. Jack Lewis says, as an Englishman, the facts are this Australia team all over the pitch is better than England's. They can play at 50 to 60% and beat England. They are too good. That's the facts. They don't need to be 100. I 100% agree with you, Jack, and I'm glad that you acknowledge that. The problem is that if Australia played the way they did today against New Zealand, they would have been down 24-0 or 30-0 at halftime. If they had played the way they did in the first half against Samoa or Tonga, at halftime they would have been down 24-6 or 20-10, right? The first half against England, Australia were diabolical, and yet they still were leading 4-2 until the 37th minute, and then a stupid penalty from Reece Walsh, which really encapsulates the first half, made it 4-4. And you're just like, England have not led in this game, despite clearly being the better team in this game, and it just doesn't make sense to me. It doesn't make sense. These are still professional players at a big-time level. These are still professional players. When you look at this England lineup, how do you improve this? How do we improve this? Well, firstly, Jake Connor has to come into the team. Firstly, you have to see the man of steel come into the team. You've got to see Sean Wayne not pick his mates. Because we look at this game today and we've seen nothing from nobody except for Herbie Farnworth. AJ Brimson has been solid enough, better than Jack Wellsby was last week. Dom Young, still poor, but you have to play him. Tom Johnstone, still like him. Harry Smith, done nothing. Mike McKeegan, done nothing. Matty Lees, done nothing. Callum Watkins, done nothing. Jez Litton, don't even know that he's played today. So Australia, they're going to open the floodgates here, lads. Second tackle, now third tackle for Australia at 25. Jack Lewis, I think they're doing just doing enough to win the game. I think if we went ahead, they would go through the gears. It seems they're just doing enough. Yeah, it just doesn't seem like Australia have really given a shit. He worked under Madge at Wigan, then took over. Fair enough. And this is the thing, like, for the English out there, I'm not trying to hurt you or insult you. I'm trying to seek better for you. I want to see better. I genuinely said I wanted to see England win this game. Despite the fact that I'd get slapped with banter, I would have liked it so that it was actually a competitive Game 3 next week. Now we've got to wake up at 2:30 in the morning to watch a game that means nothing and is probably going to be the same score. Australia's going to win this series 3-0. Did you think Best was unlucky not to be picked ahead of Shibasaki? Nah, Daraz, nah. Shibasaki did enough this year to earn it. Brisbane Broncos Premiership winner, huge involvement with the Queensland team. Kevin Walters is the coach. Of course, he's going to love a bit of Shiba from the Broncos. You know, overall, no, I definitely think that Shibasaki was going to get it. Long-term wise, I'd say Brisbane Best gets it back sooner than you think, especially if Shibasaki leaves Broncos. I can see him returning to a bit of the form that he was in prior, but I think Brisbane Best longer term will be there. Our league is like us, though. It's a lot of one-out carries up the middle. Yeah, well, the NRL's looking to buy the Super League, which will be a great addition. And they had a big meeting this week, actually. I'll be reacting and live streaming all my reactions to the Super League next year, so I'll have a better idea about it. But I will say, if this is very similar to how the Super League is played, I'm not insanely excited. And that is why the NRL wants to buy it, to change its product, because right now the product isn't sellable. There's no value in selling the product to the Super League right now if this is the game style that we see. I've got to be honest. Third tackle. Angus Crichton's not happy. He's saying that he got hit high there. Third tackle at the... I think this might be a 40-20 attempt here. I don't know. Jack Lewis says, my brother is flying out tonight from London to Brisbane for 3 weeks. Honeymoon. Shame no NRL for him to watch. Yeah, CommBank there is next week, New Zealand, or maybe New Zealand versus Samoa, or it could be Tonga versus Samoa. So England are going to get the ball here at the 20. So what it says, we don't have a pack that can win that battle against the Aussies, which is why you have Field, French, etc. playing off the cuff and teams get cut to ribbons. Fair, but this pack isn't Australia's best either, even though it is a very good pack. You can see England to have lost a lot of their moral, their motivation in this game right now. They're playing at a very different rate, and you can hear the crowd really trying to get them back into it. There we go, a couple more. Be nice. Come on, Ruskies. So England, clearing, good defense. Good defense clearing. That is a great sign. 4 tackle now. It's exactly how the game played out last week, lads. Australia awful first half and much better second half, and right now they are playing a much better second half. Aussies will give a crack to the players that haven't played for Game 3. Yeah, so who will that be? So Brabham Best will play. You would expect Brabham Best to play. Sepon says, no, but you're not having any of these players near an Aussie squad except Herbie. Herbie would make the origins of the Aussie squad. AJ Brimson, there's a reason why he's playing for England, with all due respect to him. There's a reason why he's playing for England. Dominic Young, don't even look with a side eye at an Australian under buddy C team. No chance. Herbie Farnworth, yes, would make it. Jake Wardle, don't mind him, but no. Tom Johnstone, I would say that with the performances we've seen from Johnstone, I wouldn't put him a complete far distance away. I think that he's had a great series so far, Tom Johnstone. Realistically, George Williams, no. Harry Smith, poke it with fire. Mike McMeekin, get out of my face. Jez Litton, don't even know who you are. Matty Lees, no way. Callum Watkins, no way. Kai Pearce-Paul, absolutely not. And Morgan Knowles, absolutely not. It's just been dreadful. And the one at Dwase catches it in the air, flicks it back, it stags. This is going to play on. It's going to be England ball at 3. And now it's going to be a penalty. No one at Dwase has been so poor today. Nah, Brimson, no, Draz. You can't say Brimson's close to Australian squad. Brimson was never going to make the Australian squad. If it wasn't for Tedesco dropping out due to a mate's wedding, then Reece Walsh wouldn't have ever made it. You can't tell me that you think that Brimson is close enough to the fullback role for Australia. Duraz says 1, 2023 grand final, 2, 2016 grand final, 3, 2025 grand final. My top 3 grand finals. Okay, what a random comment. Yes, I know 2015 not there. It wasn't that great. Okay, this is the most random comment I've ever seen in my life. Since when did 20 NRL grand finals come into this conversation? What just happened? Have you gone? Are you overtired? Like, where did NRL Grand Finals come into this conversation? 60 minutes gone here in the game. 20 minutes to go of the game, guys. Hit that like button and subscribe. Don't forget to be here for New Zealand versus Tonga tomorrow. No, but you not have. Someone says it was similar from the Aussies in the World Cup. If you remember, it took the Aussies a while to get up to speed, which is why we needed to somehow win the first week. Oh yeah, I did say this last week. You had to win the first week. Yeah, if you didn't win the first week, it was all over. And George Williams gets it out the back end, AJ Brimson. And that's not me saying that AJ Brimson's not a good player. He is one of England's best players, clearly. But he's not going to take out... that's a penalty. Tackle in air. Herbie Farnworth, absolutely. Someone slap him. That's clearly a penalty for tackling in air against Herbie Farnworth. It'll be a penalty to the Australians. The fullback battle for Australia is between Tedesco, Reece Walsh, and Dylan Edwards. AJ Brimson's not a part of those 3. And then if you want to also throw in Hamiso, you can. But then again, Hamiso's going to Samoa to take out Hamiso. Who else would you be looking at? I guess Scott Drinkwater is there. Kalen Ponga if he's fit and healthy. Gutho, no way. If you even think to talk about Will Kennedy, I'll be sick. Tom Trbojevic, not anymore. Anyway, my point is that AJ would probably be in the top 6 candidates, maybe. Because you would have Tedesco above him. You would have Reece above him. You would have Dylan Edwards above him despite his lackluster form. Australia here, Hudson Young will be 45 minutes out from England's line 3rd tackle. You would have... Like, they probably would put Latrell in over AJ too, whether you agree with that or not. They probably would. Knock on there from Australia. So it's going to be England ball at 35. Actually, I'll ask you guys that question. Do you think that Kevin Walters would prefer to put in Latrell Mitchell than AJ Brimson if push came to shove? I think so. I think so. Do you think Reece Walsh is second in line in terms of face of the game besides Cleary? I think Reece Walsh currently is the face of the game. I think Nathan Cleary is second in line as we currently speak. Tell me I'm wrong. I think currently speaking, Reece Walsh is the face of the game by far. By far, actually. So Tino comes on for Kamatangi. Trell all day. I think he does. I don't agree with it, though. I think Trell should be centre for the Rabbitohs next year, and I think that Jai Gray should be their fullback. Whilst AJ Brimson, I guess, is probably going to go to the centres, he's demanding to play in the spine. I wouldn't. If I was a coach, I'd say, nah, not my problem. We've got players that would prefer to play there. And if you love the club and you want to play for the club, then you play where we tell you to play. Because ultimately, you should be happy to be playing rugby league at a professional level and making good money. And on a long-term contract too, which is guaranteed. I'd be saying you're playing centres because you played well there. Oh, a bit of a biffo here. Of course, it's with Hudson Young, but May leaves. So England 6 again. Now second tackle. They're going to be 23 minutes away from the line. Olechki comes off here for Lees. Because all Trella's going to train off-season at centre and great fullback. Yeah. It makes sense. It should be the case. It should be the case. Yeah, Jai should be fullback. He was racking up Dally M points at the start of the year. Yeah. That's a left. Here they come. George Williams gives it across. Jake Wardle. Great step. Great step. Oh, that's impressive. I like that. That's what I'm saying. Jake Wardle's not been bad in these opening 2 games. Jake Wardle has not been bad. If you score here, England, it could be game on. Could be game on here, England, if you score. Fit tackle. And penalty. Oh, fuck off, Grant Atkins. You are off your rocker, Grant Atkins. Grant Atkins has not been able to deliver on offsides all night. He doesn't, and this isn't necessarily to blame for him, but it's to blame for the groundsman. It's to blame for the groundsman. Tino is very clearly offside here. And this is the thing. I'm not having a problem with Grant Atkins calling that as an offside because it is an offside. My issue with Grant Atkins is that he's not going back 10 metres. And it's not even necessarily with Grant Atkins. It is with the fact that the lines on the field are not good enough. So it's been very difficult for him to establish a 10 metres. He can't get a consistent established 10 metres. And that's the problem that I find with it. And that's why you're seeing players go offside. Because they don't know what the line is because Grant Atkins hasn't been able to establish it. Tom Johnstone's 7 minutes out of the line. I would like England to score here. Third tackle, 8 minutes out. Third tackle. Cliffy says, I want to see some Biffo, nice aggression tonight. We've seen like 3 Biffos. 4 tackle now for England. They're going to be 10 metres away from the line. Come on, England. Score a try. Come on, England. Put it over. Put it over here. Out of the right. Georgie Williams. Kick it through. Adokar. Dom Young. Reece Walsh. You're probably going to get binned here. There's not going to be a bin. It's going to be a penalty, but it should be a penalty, but a bit of biffo. Reece Walsh is just taking out Dom Young here. There's no penalty try or anything like that, but it should be a penalty to England for sure. Dom Young on Adokar. The kick, Dom Young should have done better there. But Reece Walsh should be penalised for sure. If this shot, I don't know if that'll be a bin, but it's definitely a penalty. It's not like a shoulder charge. Like his arm is out like this. It's not a shoulder charge here, but it is a very typical Reece Walsh thing. Why is that absolute flop throwing Shibasaki to the ground? Kai Pearce-Paul, shut your mouth. You are the flop in the NRL. Why are you throwing Shibasaki to the ground here? Are you upset that you've been shitty today? It wasn't Shibasaki who there was a problem with. The problem was Reece Walsh coming in over the top of Dom Young. Oh, stop it, Kai Pearce-Paul. Dead set. You're a cat, Kai Pearce-Paul. You are a cat. You are a cat, Kai Pearce-Paul. Duraz, if this was the NRL, I'd have lost it at Walsh, but I genuinely now love him as an Australian. Of course, it's like Origin and Internationals. Reece may kind of to the head, you reckon? Ooh, maybe. Could be a sin bin. It has to be a penalty at minimum. Is there mitigate? This is going to be interesting what they call here. What are they going to call here? Dom Young goes up. Adokar, there's nothing wrong with Adokar. Nah, that's not head. That's not head. It hits it right up high here. That's not head. This angle looks bad. That back angle showed that it hits about like there. What? No intent to wrap? Well, there's no way that this is... Well, his arm's out like this, so you can't tell me there's no intent to wrap. I don't know. This is a debatable call. It's look, okay. I'd be okay. They're going to bin him. Walsh got the jump wrong, going with the ball, no sin bin. No, Kurt Menzies, that's not right. Like, at the end of the day, it is a hit off of the ball. The ball has gone past Dom Young, goes over the sideline. I'm okay with the call. I was concerned for a second they were trying to say that it was high contact and shoulder to the head with no mitigation. I thought they were going to send him off, which would have been ridiculous, which is why I was so concerned. But I'm okay with it being a bin there. Reece has been awful today. Like, Reece has not been good at all. And that's a big moment too. And it's also really disappointing because Dom Young is so poor as a winger that he wasn't even in contention for that ball. Like, he wasn't even in contention for that ball. That was so poor from Dom Young. It was a great kick from Georgie Williams. And yet Dom Young... Here we go. This is an even matchup now. It's an even matchup. It's 13-12 for the next 10 minutes. England, you have to score, man. Like, it pissed me off. You have to score. Score a try, England. First tackle now. 9 minutes out from the line. Mark Wood scored that. Mark Wood scored that 3 times on a Saturday night. Set restart. You have to score here, England. There is no excuses. Matty Lees, they roll it back. They go for a quick little scoot. 3 minutes out from the line. Australia, let's see this defense. Let's see this defense. They got the back. Harry Smith. Then off to George Williams. Not the play there. 10 metres out from the line. Third tackle. 10 metres out. Jake Wardle. Now they go... Oh, that's 4 pass. That was a 4 pass. They didn't call it though. Yeah, good on your touchies. 4 tackle, 4 metres out. They go this ball across, and they get it across again. That's good rolling defense there from Australia. Happy Farmer juggles the ball, but he keeps it. He flicks the ball back on the inside here for Matty Lees. Lees here at the 20. He'll roll it back here to Callum Watkins. Watkins is going to flick it off here to AJ Brimson. Go Brimo. Brimo taking it out of the 15. Fifth tackle. Out to the left. Kurt Menzies, I'm going to roast you in a second if you keep defending what we saw from Reece Walsh. Knock on there from England. That's going to be 5 metres out from the line. Australia, good defence, and England couldn't score still. All right, Kurt Menzies, let's have a chat. Walsh wasn't making a play on Young, though. He was going for the ball. That's incorrect. He's just got his timing wrong. That is absolutely biased, rose-tinted bloody glasses there, bro. All right, no intent to put a shot on Young. That is absolutely incorrect. The ball had gone past Dom Young. The ball had already basically hit the sideline before Reece Walsh had come in. Reece Walsh wasn't looking at the ball, and this is what Cooper Cronk in the commentary was saying too. Reece Walsh wasn't even looking at the ball. If he was looking at the ball, he would have realised the ball's already gone. He was looking at Dom Young the whole time. He was making a play on Dom Young. He was expecting Dom Young to catch the ball and then make the hit on Dom Young. There's no way that you could say that Reece Walsh wasn't making a play on the ball and wasn't making a play on Dom Young. If he was making a play on the ball, then why is his hands not trying to go for a catch? Why is he going for a tackle? Why is he going for a hit? If you are saying that Reece Walsh is making a play at the ball and not the play, then why is he not trying to catch the ball, which, mind you, has already basically touched the sideline? He wouldn't have been off if Young wasn't so shit in the air and he caught it. Absolutely, Seb, because he wasn't... Your comment is perfect, because if your comment is correct, he's going for the play, he's not going for the ball. Because he's not going for the ball. Reece Walsh wasn't. And I want Reece to play well, but I'm sorry, you can't tell me that he was going for the ball in that situation, just timed it wrong. He never took his eyes off of Dom Young. Brenton says, what club do you think will pick up Lindsay Smith? I have no idea. That's an interesting signing. That was great defense. It was great defense, Marcel. Leave Walsh off. It's still unfair. So England now going to get this ball here. Like, I get you're a Broncos fan. I get you want to defend Reece Walsh, but you've got to see past that. Like, if Brimo makes a mistake here, he's a Titans player who I know as well. If I see Keanu tomorrow for New Zealand on the wing, if he makes a mistake, I'm going to criticise that for legitimately too.
And I know Keanu and I love Keanu and his family, and we're great, but I still need to criticise it because it's the footy, not the person. At the end of the day, Getty's your fullback, but you have to feel. Tom Johnson flicks that ball back on the inside. Australia picks it up, and the one or twice say, no, it's going to be a knock on here. A touch, he's going to put his flag up. Point is, you have to still criticise. You got to be fair to it, mate. Tynes says his intent was 100% to hit Young hard enough to ensure he did not score. No eyes for the ball. Exactly right, Tynes. That's what I'm trying to say. I don't think I can criticise Walsh because everyone has been off and everyone expects a 10 out of 10 game. His spine has not clicked overall. I think you can. I think you can criticise Walsh for today's game. That doesn't mean that I think that he's a bad player. He's an incredible player. He's the face of the game currently. He had a great game last week. He had a great grand final. He had a great back end of the season. He had an awful first half of the season. His first half of the season was awful. His second half of the season was incredible. And then last week was incredible. But today he's been really, really poor. I do feel like it's absolutely viable to question his performance today. But that doesn't take away from the player that he is. Third tackle out to 48. 10 minutes to go here of the game, guys. 70 minutes gone. Hit that like button and subscribe. And don't forget Tonga versus New Zealand later on today. And then in 20 days' time, for all you English out there, Australia versus England, the Ashes, son. We're going to be live for all day, every day. We'll be live all day, every day for Australia versus England in the Ashes. Munster offloads it. Here we go, Nathan Cleary. Put him to bed, put him to bed, put him to bed. Take it down 5 minutes out. It's going to be a fit tackle for the Aussies. Of course, it's going to freeze now. Of course, just as they do that, just as they break through, there's going to be my screen, my KO is going to freeze. Of course, now my access has been denied. Oh, dearie me. Dearie me. Well, let me try and get up on KO again on the... over here. Let me try and get it up over here. Because that is diabolical. Just as they're about to score a try there, Australia, it's gone as access denied again. Pay your KO, but you can't. My KO is not the problem. It's if we can watch this game is through a VPN. Because watchnrl.com, which is the rugby league service for overseas, you're not actually able to watch the game on that. It's not possible. The contracting rights has not allowed us to watch it on watchnrl.com. So we're having to watch it on KO, which means that we have to watch it on a VPN. And KO does lock down on VPNs pretty quickly. So, please fix that for future reference. But it's about to play anyway. We're about to get it back up underway. I had to refresh it. All right, so 5 minutes still to go in the bin for Reece Walsh. They're actually looking at a bunk referee here. What are they called here? It's going to be a knock-on last tackle. So I don't know what happened there. I wasn't able to watch it, guys, but it's a knock-on last tackle. In England, I think we'll get the ball at 10. I think. So are you... English fans, I want to ask you, are you taking, if this game ends like this 14-4 or if it's 14-10, would you take that as a positive or are you taking it as a negative? Knock on England. Knock on England. And Nathan Cleary now at the 20. They'll give it to Lindsay Smith. Lindsay Smith is going to be 15 metres out from the line. If you haven't put your notification bell on for the channel, by the way, guys, Monday to Friday, we're going to have a video talking about it. It's a discussion topic video every day to get us through the weeks and the off-season and whatnot, but especially from stream to stream, because I've felt that the channel's been very empty when we're not streaming, which has only been a couple of games on a weekend. And whilst we're doing BKRtravel stuff, I do want to get, Harry Grant, too easy. Oh, it'd be held up over the line. Really nice work there, actually, from McMeekin. McMeekin with a really nice work to hold him up there. So you should put your notification bell on because every day you're going to see a discussion video about something that Isaac Issa posts on Instagram, who's a news source over there. He does a good job over there. So Harry Grant and Nathan Cleary, 10 metres out. We'll give it off here to Munster. Munster's going to run this ball straight into Callum Watkins at the 10. 4th tackle. So we'll be talking about individual stories and Tino and all that kind of jazz. Over the top, here's a chance. Shots out of car. This will be a try. Oh, good defense. Farnworth. I can be honest with you. English defense has not been too bad in the second half, though. Tom did. He's on the field, kicks his ball through, play on, and it's going to be England ball at the 8. Good defense from England. Good defense from England. And that's going to be a penalty to England as well. Penalty to England. Someone said AJ was the best Titans player on the field this morning. AJ is the only Titans player on the field this morning. Oh, wait, Tino is out there too, to be fair. Tino hasn't had a great game, to be completely honest with you. Hasn't had a fantastic game. 7 minutes to go here. 2 minutes 50 left of that man the bin for Reece Walsh and Australia. England would still need to score 2 converted tries here. Second tackle. I want England to score to make this interesting. Please take us to a decider next week. Waking up at 2:30 in the morning to waking up at 2:30 in the morning to watch a game of this standard that means nothing is going to be so brutal. England now to Nathan Cleary. Cleary gets this ball across. Here they not Nathan Cleary. Gee whiz. Cleary was trying to make the tackle. It was Harry Smith. 4th tackle at the 14. Out to the right, George Williams, short ball in the line, Morgan Knowles, and Morgan Knowles, 5th tackle, 9 minutes out from the line. Mikey Lewis gives it across, over the top. Herbie Farmore's going over the sideline. Great defense from Josh Adokar. You'll be wide awake now after this game. No, I can tell I'm still going to fall asleep. I can tell you that for free. I can tell you that for free, Jay. I do have to set up the Tonga versus New Zealand stream, though. I do have to set that stream up. But that was great defense where Adokar just held it up and waited for it. I do have to get ready to rip into England on their socials, though. That'll be fun. That will be fun. My favourite pastime. My favourite pastime is ripping into England on their socials. They get a lot of salty people. Especially during the Ashes. It's always good fun. No, first thing, they'll just call you convicts. And they get the offload away to Harry Grant. Harry Grant, good run. Great run. He'll get this ball to the 40 on second tackle. A minute to go now. Reece Walsh is about to come back on the field. Yeah, one more try would be nice from Australia. You've been really poor today, but if you can get just one more try, it'd be really nice. It'd be just a nice way to finish off the game. Munster now bring this ball to the 30 on English side of the field. I will say though, going into the Rugby League World Cup next year, Australia need to work harder than what they've done today and done this series. Shibasaki to the 20, 15, 5th tackle. Slapper says, reckon we should have left this tour in the past for England's sake. Yeah, well, 1 second. Right inside. Good run, good kick. And that's going to be England take it down at the 7. I think this needs to, like, what they're basically doing is, who's the booing? Oh, Reece Walsh is back on the field. Shut up, English fans. What was I saying? So we saw Samoa there last year. They got pieced apart. We saw Tonga over the other year before that. They got pieced apart. Was it New Zealand the year before that? The Pimpernel says it's not that good of an Australian team. And yet they've still won this series 2-0 already. They have been awful today. Awful, awful. And yet they are still going to win this series with ease. So if that's like an insult from an English towards an Australian, I need you to have a real hard look at yourselves in the mirror. Because as an Australian, and Australians in general will tell you, this was one of the worst Australian performances I've seen in my entire life. And yet they're still winning 14-4 and have had 2 sin bins in the game, one of which is still off the field. You know, and yet they're up 14-4. So if that's an English attempt as an insult of Australia, we accept that with happiness and say this has been shithouse, and yet they're still winning 14-4. So I don't know where your bravado comes from there. I'm not too sure. Sport Reaction says that England attack is terrible. I think Tonga, Samoa, and New Zealand beat them. Well, Samoa and Tonga lost them over the last couple of years. Max Watson says, it's pretty crazy to think the English national team for this sport is this poor. Absolutely. Australia would have lost this game to New Zealand. And New Zealand weren't anything too crash hot against Samoa the other week. All right, second tackle now for Australia. And they are 25 metres out. Harry Grant, Reece Walsh, and lose the ball. Someone says, this is a tour to promote the NRL takeover and build hype around the London team. Absolutely agree, Sam Watson. Absolutely agree. Pippin says, Cleary does not run the team well. Sure, but what are you trying? What's your actual point here? Adzi says, is it just me or does this game stink like shit? Oh, Adzi, bro, I've lost my mind multiple times about this game. It's absolutely absurd that Australia are winning this game. Like, they've been god awful. Awful, awful. Awful, 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 awful. Awful, 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 awful. Awful. That's 80 minutes of my life that I won't get back. Correct, Jay. And that's the thing. Like, for any Seb Watson, I get you get it, and other English fans, I get you get it. For other English fans who think that, like, saying Australia is shit is an insult, we agree with you right now. We agree with you. But it's also 14-4 Australia, and we still won by 20 points last week. And we would say that both of Australia's performances have been diabolically shitouts. So if that's how we feel about our team, that's not an insult to us. Because we're still winning these games. And yet we're still winning them convincingly. You know what I mean? Like, it's so disappointing the international level. Everyone says, stayed up for another shit show. At least we saw a biffo. We saw a couple biffos, yeah. Saw a couple biffos. Everyone else says they don't seem to roll well though, Conky. Okay, so clearly you don't have any interest in having any form of a conversation that understands rugby league at all. So fifth tackle now at the 45. Clearly you are looking for an insult of Australia. Again, just remember, they are your Rugby League World Cup champions. They are your Pacific Cup champions. And they are currently slapping your team when they've been shootouts. Reece Welsh picks it up here. He's away. He's going to kick this ball down deep. He's going to kick this ball down deep. But there was a player back there for England. He's going to get this ball to the 35. Duraz says, Australia is the footy and soon the cricket that will demolish the Poms. That is no surprise. Someone says, there's people up north who thought we would win by 20 today. Some delusional stuff out there. They thought they would win against Australia by 20. Okay. Okay. Interesting. People else says not at all. I'm Australian, bro. Oh, okay, that makes sense then. Sorry, when you're live streaming, man, you got to understand it's very difficult to understand who people are coming from. We get a lot of banter from English and stuff here. We had some idiot before, so my bad, bro. But you're right. So you understand what I'm saying then. You understand what I'm saying. This has been dog shit performance from Australia. Dog shit performance from Australia. But anyway, guys, that is the end of the game. Australia will win. How did he says it's 20:30 a.m. and now I have to have a shower to wash the smell of dog shit football off me. Yeah.